Hail and well met and welcome back to Severed Threads, Notes from the Black Ballad. Good to see you all. As of course you know, I am me DM, Mr. Eager DM, here to present this fantastic game with my very good friends and amazing role-playing peoples. I will call upon you and you will wave your hand to our loving public. First I shall say, Jesse, the most mathematically adept person at the table. I think I can say that without any fear of contradiction. We also have Jack, whose hair will not brook any dissension. I said Jack. I should have said Ryan, playing Jack, but the two are interchangeable, of course. We have Tess playing the intimitable, indubitable, and the excellent Win, fighting paladin extraordinaire. We have Samus playing the snarky man known as Nile, and we have Soku playing the somewhat dour counterpart to Jesse's Dawn. Welcome all. Glad to have you here, and glad to have those of you watching with us here. We're going to have a good time tonight. I'd like to extend a very special thank you to Storytellers Forge, the writers and producers of this fantastic module that we're playing. I would like to also thank Diamorte, who's responsible for the music that you're hearing. Fantastic band that has done music for the Black Ballad. And I also would like to thank Kai. If you enjoy the character art that you're seeing on your screen right now, then it is because of her amazing talents. And I'm happy to say that throughout the course of our season here, we are going to be able to show at least one, perhaps more, full body art as well. On the subject of art, a very generous donation from Taryn, a fantastic dice maker from Umbral Oculus, has offered to donate some dice to us to give away for the final session. And we all have dice from them as well. We all were able to get dice that match the colors that we've chosen for our characters. I've chosen this sort of smoky, dark, mysterious Dungeon Master color. But you can see the rest of the group has their own colors. So if you would like a set of dice of your own from Umbral Oculus, make sure you stick around here and tune in for our final session several weeks from now. With that, I think Storytellers Forge Notes from the Black Ballad Severed Threads is due to begin. My friends, I extend my hand, inviting you to step with me into fantasy. Release your hold on that which you know to be true, and let imagination rule for the next few hours.
He said it.
He did.
He did the thing.
He did the thing.
Last time on Severed Threads, the adventurers found themselves still in the horrid undead bodies that they had embodied when they died in the Sunless Crossing, when their souls had become too damaged to continue. Rather than reappearing there in the Sunless Crossing, they found themselves inside these gross, rotting pieces of flesh. They spent some time trying to figure out what to do about that, rescuing their companion Win from down a pit before they were attacked by some kobolds who thought, hey, a group of zombies, we can take them. However, this particular group of zombies proved to be too much for them, powered as they were by some sort of malevolent red energy that they found within themselves that gave them
And
a
vomit.
little bit of it. And vomit, yeah. A little bit of extra something that drove away the kobolds. Shortly thereafter, a group of clerics chanting hymns to the god of the dead, Kelemvor, arrived, and the players got to experience what it was like from the undead side when a cleric turns undead. It was not a pleasant experience. However, it did result in them returning to the Sunless Crossing, once again in their normal forms, albeit with the red vine-like tendrils of this strange curse or calamity or just state of being that seems to be permeating everything, to discover that the Sunless Crossing is just as in a state of upheaval as it was when they left. The accursed guard and the legionnaires arriving in droves and continuing their fight from wherever they came, causing great destruction and violence all throughout Sunless Crossing and throughout the city of Nox Valar, where they were taken quickly, having been searched for and found by the Nixian Guard, brought before the Sovereign once again, publicly thanked for their efforts to prevent her assassination, and then afforded the opportunity to ask some questions, both of Kelzir, the would-be assassin of Sovereign Ashlyn, and of Ashlyn herself. They learned a few things about the nature of the conflict between the Accursed Guard and the Legionnaires. Mostly they learned that this was going to continue, and that every time somebody dies in the Sunless Crossing, they are going back into the mortal world as undead. And then when they return, and with whatever they contact with out in that mortal world, they are spreading this red curse, this scarlet malice. And as such, more and more souls are going to be coming to the Sunless Crossing. From Ashlyn, they learned that the Sunless Crossing is actually brought about by a goddess named Nixia, who long ago made a deal with the rest of the gods that she would sacrifice herself, providing souls a place they could rest before moving on to their final reward or their final punishment, so that if they were resurrected, they would not be ripped from those realms. They could transition back into life from a more gentle and a more what's the word I'm looking for? Neutral. Thank you very much, Jack. Now shut up. From a more neutral place.
Have a way with words, Dick.
Just as they were returning back to the rest of the court of the Sovereign, a strange individual appeared. A dark blue tiefling wearing a porcelain mask, wearing fine doublet and very fine clothing. This tiefling had an androgynous look to them and spoke about perhaps finding a way to undo what has been done, but claiming that the group would need some divine help. So, that is where we will resume this strange individual. First of all, the first thing that happens as this individual appears, with no warning, there were no sounds of footsteps or anything of that nature. Suddenly there, Valen the Jade flares his wings, which are enormous, take up almost half of the room when he fully spreads them, and soars forward. And he says, "I have no patience this day for riddles." And before he could continue, Ashlyn stops him and says, "Hold, I would hear what this self-proclaimed betrayer has to say." And Majin, the betrayer, as they have described himself, gives a very slight bow and a sly smile at Valen and steps forward. His hands are turned up, showing that they mean no harm, no aggressive intent. And they move towards the map of the table and they say, "This is all but an unfortunate symptom of a much larger issue." He addresses all of you. "A divine conundrum I hope we can untangle together." They begin to move around the room, slowly walking back and forth. "I have answers. Perhaps not all the answers you seek, but definitely enough to get things moving in a more productive direction. What would you like to know about first?"
Let's start with who are you?
That...
Beyond your name, please.
That is a complicated question. But I am many things, many places. But here, I am just another passenger along for the ride in the palm of a sleeping god.
And your interest in this issue that you...
Oh, the same as yours, I would think. If left unchecked, this scarlet malice will infect all of reality, eventually ending all life in the multiverse.
You seem to know more
Besides-
than the rest of us, even those of us who should potentially know more than anyone. Share it
Well,
if you do.
I have the benefit of perspective, you see. I've been watching the war between the Legionnaires and the Accursed Guard for some time. It's their hatred and their utter desire to destroy one another that allowed the Scarlet Malice to gestate. And no one understands it, the Accursed Guard, or the Legionnaires better than I. Their growling malice will infect everyone. Luckily, with the knowledge of the origin of the Scarlet Malice, does bring potential solution, which I'm here to offer.
How is it that you are so familiar with all this?
Perspective, my dear. I was in a unique position to observe every aspect of the creation of the Scarlet Malice. And while I have maintained perhaps a bit of aloofness in times past, this threat is too great. I feel I must intervene.
If you were there, if you were so involved or around in its creation, do you know how to uncreate it?
I think I do.
Do it.
I'm afraid you're not going to like it, but think of the Scarlet Malice as a malady of the blood. It's carried everywhere throughout the body. So too, if we think of the Sunless Crossing being a centralized location, a heart, perhaps. Everyone who comes here is infected, and then when they leave, they infect others. But this process, this death and resurrection, it's unstoppable, much like the flow of blood. The only way to stop the infection is to stop the flow, but then that has disastrous consequences, doesn't it?
So everyone that is
And what would
infected,
these consequences?
everyone who is
Please.
infected dies, and you've solved your problem.
Well, if everyone who is infected dies, then they come here, and then they die here, and they go back out, and so on and so forth, until literally everything is consumed. It would be morbidly fascinating, I suppose, to leave it unchecked. How long could the living world hold out before society utterly collapsed? Even the truly powerful and immortal, who might somehow avoid the malice's effect, what will they do with an empty world? And who's to say that the melody of the Scarlet Malice ends there? It could pass on even further to realms even the gods have never heard of.
What do you know of this melody? How is it tied to this sickness?
It is the sickness, it is the carrier, it is what is transmitting the disease. A tune, a melody, a song that is as much felt as it is heard. Beautiful and elegant in its own way, but insidious and unstoppable. It travels along the same paths that the domains of death and life have used for aeons to provide resurrection magic to those who claim power over them.
You've been very subtle with how. Do you have this? Do you have steps? Do you have a specific thing besides riddles and analogies?
Who or
for
what do we
you want
kill?
us to do to stop it?
Well, I do enjoy hearing myself speak, so yes, you have called me out. Well, the answer, I think, is to halt resurrection magic. No more revivifies. No more raised deads. No more resurrections or reincarnations.
For how long?
For as long as it takes to get a hold of things. That will stop the spread of the Scarlet Malice. That will allow everyone here to catch a breath. But it is not something that is easily done.
I would think not.
There are many gods in the domain of death and life. How do you stop them from doing what they've always done?
Well, you've said
It's
it
not
yourself.
just the gods of death and life.
You've said it yourself. Many gods in the domains of death and life. I suggest we go straight to the source, to death itself and life itself, and ask them to break the compact they made so many, many aeons ago, which allowed for resurrection even to exist. We'll have to convince them that these ancient promises to the gods who represent life and death be broken.
So, Majin, Betrayer, MB, what's your angle in all of this? Obviously, one respectful, dashing, debonair individual to another. You've got it
Too
going
kind.
on. Well, I know. But no one ever plays a game without an angle. What's yours?
Well, I'm a part of this existence, am I not?
Sorry, I'm gonna do something.
Okay.
My friends would probably pick up on it, but there's no visible effect that happens as I kind of cock my head to the side slightly, and I feel my heartbeat slow just for a moment as I attempt to discern as I try to extend my empathic awareness towards this person and try to divine what their primary emotion is.
Oh, very good.
At this time.
Is this
So it's a deception versus my insight.
all right? Roll your insight. Good luck with that.
28.
20.
Hey!
Goodness.
I rolled a 15 on my dawn dice.
Oh, that is a
Plus
welcome
13.
switch from last time.
Smash.
Oh, lovely.
Amazing. So as you send forth your senses that go towards Majin, they are in the process of speaking to somebody else, and they slowly turn and make eye contact with you and smile broadly. And you feel your senses meet an absolute wall, which then dissipates as Majin actually lets you into their mind.
Oh.
Now this is living.
And I get what primary emotion.
I need you to make a
from
saving
them.
throw, my dear.
Oh no.
Okay.
Wisdom saving
kind of saving
throw.
Thanks, I hate it. Oh, gosh.
Oh no.
Okay. Remember my good roll that I just had?
Mhm.
You got
It's
another
over.
one, right?
11.
No.
I got a 2 on my
An
dice.
11.
11.
So
Yeah.
a wide open expanse of coiling thoughts and emotions and some things you don't even have a word for is laid out before you, and you have a brief sensation of falling from thousands and thousands of feet up into a vast sea of turmoil. You can continue if you wish.
It feels like turmoil or like a vast sea of emotion kind of thing that
Chaos.
Like-
absolute just color, emotion, experience, longing, regret, the hopes and fears of billions of individuals
Oh, that sounds... I think Don would keep going.
Okay,
I would keep going.
So you
my God.
fall further and further, and this experience begins to envelop and surround you, and in a bizarre way seems to condense and coalesce, so that as you fall, it's less about falling towards something and almost falling through something. And as you fall through it, you drag it with you into a small, almost childlike awareness. And that is the sum total of this. As you pass through this vast and inscrutable sense of personality, emotion, experience, it coalesces down into the mind of a child, curious, somewhat bemused, and lonely. Find what you were looking for.
I found something.
Do we see or hear?
Hard to put words to it.
DM, do we see or hear this exchange at all, or does this happen like
You hear
in
the
their
words
mind?
that were spoken. Dawn, because you have failed your wisdom saving throw, as soon as you establish contact with this and have this exchange with him, your eyes flutter and you fall to the ground unconscious.
I rush to my sister, hold her head up. Dawn?
I
what did
think
you do
she'll
to
be
her?
fine.
Wynn draws her sunblade.
What did you do to her?
My goodness. This really is a wonderful day, now isn't it? I did nothing. She attempted to do something. I think she saw a bit more than she was expecting. And really, he turns towards the Sovereign and Valen the Jade. Do you allow open blades against a non-threat?
I wouldn't
And
exactly
Sovereign-
call rendering our friend unconscious a non-threat.
She rendered herself unconscious. Niall? I thought that was obvious.
Oh, victim blaming. I don't like you much.
That's all right. I like you just fine. And Bajan turns towards the Sovereign, and Sovereign does raise a hand and ask you to put away your blade. Win.
She does. I should have made it clear. She pulled out the hilt and did not activate it, but she still puts
Got
the
it.
hilt away.
That's it. Yak looks at Majin and goes, "That's not the most dangerous part of her."
Ah.
Just wait till she's disappointed in you.
Oh,
I'm on the floor kneeling. I have Dawn's head in my lap, and I'm stroking her hair and just
She is clearly alive, breathing,
Yeah.
appears to be asleep.
I am attempting to stare daggers into his eyeballs.
They
What
look
role
at
is that
you and
exactly?
sort of cock their heads. What exactly are you looking at?
Unfortunately, you.
Oh, Dusk, your rage is most impressive.
I cast Lesser Restoration on Dawn.
It works immediately, Dawn. It's your choice. You are asleep. Do you wish to wake or do you wish to stay asleep?
I would probably wake.
Dawn would wake.
If Jessica is trying to wake me up and then I feel like Wynn cast magic on me, I'd probably wake
Okay.
up at that point.
You wake. So, back to what I was saying. An end to resurrection magic so that Sunless Crossing
okay?
can catch its breath.
Yeah, I'm fine. That was less upsetting than what's her name. It's fine.
You said this will only stop the spread. You haven't said anything about eradicating it.
There'll be time for that later. Stopping the spread is of the utmost importance, and it will be hard enough. One step at a time.
I'll look to Aislinn and say, is he right about this? Is that such a thing even possible?
Sopran, Ashlyn. You look at Ashlyn? Okay.
Yeah, sorry. I look at Ashlyn and say, are they right about this? Is such a thing even possible?
Ashlyn looks concerned, but she begins to nod slowly, and she says, if this scarlet malice is truly as widespread as they say, and we would certainly seem to see all the indications that that is the case, an end to resurrection magic would certainly stop more souls coming here. And then Majin speaks again. The Scarlet Malice is beyond the power of a god to simply eradicate. We can't just pray it away. This nightmare does not end with a snap, no matter how divine a snap it might be. At best, it would precariously hold it at bay until every deity, drawing upon the gifts of life and death, relinquish them. It would be possible to get each and every one of them to come to that conclusion, I suppose. But it would take time that I don't think we have. Stopping it at the source, that would seem to be the only possible way. At least that's what I think.
Time effective.
So we
Well-
just stroll up to the god of life and death and say,
Oh, no,
Well,
not a god. The concept. The domain.
How do we communicate with a concept domain?
Well, luckily you're in one of the few places that can allow you access, but it will be a dangerous prospect. I suggest, Majin, that we have a conversation, just the three of us. I could explain a few more things in private, perhaps. And then maybe an adjournment of these proceedings until tomorrow. Would that be acceptable?
If I can have a word with Ashlyn before the three of you talk.
Of course. Does anybody have anything to eat or drink? The more exotic, the better. No?
Niall turns his
We
leg.
just got back.
I turn my leg away that is holstering my chef's knife so that it is specifically not visible.
Okay.
Even though I'm fully aware that Majin probably has a acute sense of my skill set. That's, yeah.
Pity.
I
If only
do
there was
apologize.
someone around here who had a true Epicurean palate.
Oh, darn.
And,
To be fair, we only
steps
just
away. He
recently
gives-
returned from dying, so
They give a very elaborate bow and allow you time with Ashlyn as they step around, sort of moving very gracefully through the throng of people here, looking at people carefully, inhaling the sense of perfume that people might be wearing, examining the aftermath of the fight.
see, look at the way they walk. You can't teach that. There's a confidence. Oh no, the smelling people's creepy. You shouldn't do that. But the way they walk, killer, absolutely killer.
What do you think, Niall? Says Ashlyn.
I don't trust him,
No, obviously.
Them.
but there is a worrisome wisdom in his words.
There.
I also wonder, in an effort to stop the spread, and please forgive me because I understand how much you care about your post, what if the Sunless Crossing didn't exist?
It's, in my opinion, a moot point. It does exist. In order for it not to exist, the choice would have had to have been made long before you and I existed. As far as the future is concerned,
You said when a sovereign gives themselves to the Sunless Crossing, it allows them to continue. That means that it's finite. I fear the repercussions of approaching the domain of life and death just as much, and I wondered what your thought was about the alternative.
I think there are two separate issues. Before we can deal with saving or enduring this Scarlet Malice here in the Sunless Crossing, we must stop the unchecked spread of the Scarlet Malice. And if the Scarlet Malice is truly using the tendrils of power that are used by those who dabble in resurrection magic, then ending resurrection magic would seem to be the solution. And you are right to be daunted by traveling to the domain of dread. The domain of the dead is something to dread.
Can you describe it to us? I've never heard of
I
it.
cannot. I've never seen it. I know there is a portal to it here. I'm not quite clear where it is. There's also a portal to the domain of life. We need more time to discuss a plan for this. I think Majin is right. We should go our separate ways. I will be calling on you to do whatever this task is with apologies. The state of affairs here in the Sunless Crossing due to the war between the Legionnaires and the Accursed Guard, and also encroaching demons that sense that we are weak. All resources we have are being eaten up by these threats, and you've already proven yourselves to be so capable.
You just had an assassination attempt by an outspoken weirdo, and you're about to go to have a meeting with a new outspoken weirdo.
To be fair, I honestly don't think that they mean us harm. They seem invested in this next thing. Whether they get something out of ceasing resurrection magic in addition to the Scarlet Malice, I don't know. But they seem, I don't know. I didn't feel malice. Like, I felt a lot. There was some, but that's not what at the root, there was curiosity.
I have to agree with Dawn.
Did you losing consciousness have nothing to do with them in any way being evil against you?
Oh, no, it was like... And John I kind of take a deep breath. It was like experiencing every emotion at once.
Oh, God, here she goes again.
All right, are they a warlock patron or something?
I don't know, but I felt a lot, and it was a lot.
Ashlyn, was this your first time meeting them?
I am aware of the name, but yes.
And we're trusting a betrayer.
I mean, who hasn't betrayed on occasion, right?
Me?
Look, the amount of time...
There's a difference between having someone that betrays something and then having someone's identity be melded around the fact that they have decided that their main characteristic is the fact that they are a betrayer.
I mean, it is
But
definitely a red
Might
flag.
not have they might not have chosen that for themselves.
Then
And
why would they
also
introduce themselves
who
as
they
that?
and also who they betrayed matters in this situation.
Ashlyn, I understand your resources are tapped, but if there's anyone that you can have do some sort of reconnaissance, I think it would make us all feel a little bit better if we had more knowledge of who this person is.
I will do what there is to be done, but the time is short. But
We understand.
You're quite right. You have done quite a lot. You've saved my life. You have, in your turn, been unraveled.
Well, yeah.
Take some time for yourselves. Rest. Take care of any things you need to take care of inside the city. It is reasonably safe. The souls that appear above our streets are quickly intercepted. So, I bid you all another deep and heartfelt thanks, and I will see you tomorrow.
Please
See
be
you tomorrow.
safe.
I
I am
will
quite safe.
put my hand upon her shoulder and just say, "Be well, and we trust you." And I'll grant her a bardic inspiration for the upcoming conversation.
Very nice. She smiles at you and gives you a nod. And Majin steps forward and bows again, very low and very gallantly. I look forward to getting to know all of you even better than I already do.
What is it you'd like to eat, Majin?
Something sweet and crunchy.
I will look to Dawn, who has given him your word of
I
your
definitely
vote
would
of
call her
confidence.
sweet and crunchy, but yeah.
Sweet, that was my name in high school. I will give a curt nod, and I'll excuse myself to the kitchens.
All righty.
We're gonna be sweet and crunchy.
You are indeed dismissed from the Sovereign Court and given a little bit of free reign in the Onyx Requiem, but knowing that you have a day, if there is anything else that you need to do in Noxvalar, speak now. I will say this. Win, as you step out of the Onyx Requiem and down the steps and away from it, the streets, which were normally vibrant and extremely crowded, are nearly empty. You don't see any lines at any of these temples. You could hear skirmishes in various parts of the city, and every now and then you see a red soul hurling through the sky and crashing down somewhere in the city. But you hear from behind a nearby statue, "Psst! Win's here."
Yay! Oh, I turn around right away.
You see the familiar form of Corcoran Pebblemouse.
That's exactly
Oh,
what I was
absolutely extended to the roots. Eyes are wide. He's grasping his staff. Come here.
I do.
I'm sorry. I've had a rather eventful several days. I found myself in the form of an undead creature, and when I think there is some sort of a plague or some sort of a sickness or a curse that is being transmitted when we travel to and from these various places. I think it's a song, Win. It's everywhere. It's a very serious matter. I think we should look into it.
I agree completely, and you are exactly right. And I relay to him in short form everything that we've just learned from Ashlyn and Majin.
I hope it's actually him.
It's being taken care
Oh
of.
shit! Now I do too.
No, don't do that. Don't do that. Don't.
Of course it's him.
It's,
Oh, nihilist over there.
It's being taken care of.
Sean wouldn't do that to us.
The
Yes, he would.
absolute fuck he would not.
Oh, yeah. He totally would.
So, being that it is, did all of us hear that exchange, or was that just for Win?
This is Corcoran specifically speaking just to Win,
Lovely.
revealing a major secret as far as he is concerned, only to discover that
Everybody
you all
already
have him.
knows.
Yeah.
So it is a song, right? And so if it's passed through song, so typically as a bard you can counter charm things. I wonder if there's a way in which I could talk to the people in the low and try to get them to perhaps work on some sort of sonic reversal on it. Basically, the anti-earwig. It's
Or
like
come up with a better earwig.
oh, ooh, yeah.
Isn't that, yeah.
I'm sorry, these two conversations are happening separately, right? I'm over with Pebble Moss and you guys are talking.
Oh yeah, this is Jack.
I would assume we're near you still,
Yeah.
though.
Yeah,
You're not leaving him?
as the facts of the matter are revealed to Corcoran, he feels less of a need to be clandestine and does step forward and
Great. And
Rebel Gloss! Oh my god! It's so
I'm
good to
back.
see
I
you.
have returned from experience most harrowing.
Did you?
Were you a zombie?
Yeah, were you a skeleton?
I was some sort of undead warrior.
How gooey were you?
This horrible question to ask. I was far gooey than I ever want to be again.
No, some days you want to be gooey, but not like that. Yeah.
We have had too much experience with goo, honestly.
A couple of gurus around here.
Are the lines, like, gone everywhere?
I have not seen many. My crossway coin is still in effect, of course, but no one seems to be wanting to be out. Oh goodness, I can certainly see why.
When, with less people out, we might be able to get into the Azuth temple sooner than the coin I have would allow, and we could try commune again. If you wanted.
I would very much want that.
I think it would work better there than where we went last time, so.
Wynn turns to Corcoran and explains that we were able to potentially commune with Zaressa. We think we might be able to do a better job.
Yes, you might. And in fact, with the streets being clear, I have never seen it like this before, so I don't know if it will make a difference. Usually the coins serve as a marker. So just because there's no one in line won't necessarily mean you can get in any.
Well, if people are missing their reservations, then we can just ask.
I am glad that you were able to make contact in any way, shape, or form with Zaressa. It must do you a great deal of good.
She goes to answer and can't, and just closes her mouth again.
I'm heading over to my usual haunt, and going to be staying there, possibly underneath a table for some time. So if you want me, that is where I'll be there. I'm so sorry that the feast was ruined, but we have literally bigger fish to fry.
When Wynn puts a hand on his shoulder, very friendly gesture, just shy of a hug, and says, I'm so glad to see you back. I was worried. Very.
Oh, that's kind of you. If I remember correctly, you are the type of person who is going to not let something like this scarlet malice stand. I look forward to hearing about your victory against this threat. And if there's anything I can do to help you in the way of knowledge, then do ask.
I'll make sure I ask if we're inside.
Corcoran,
Falling projectile.
are you familiar with the name Majin the Betrayer?
Yes. Majin is an embodiment of a god of dreams. Not your usual deity, or if he's a deity at all. Far more. If you would just describe the pantheon of gods across all the multiverse as a club, he is outside of it.
They exist.
Excuse me. They, yes,
in
of
the
course,
same
quite right.
line, or is it a exclusives club and then observer's box sort of thing.
I'm not really sure what the problem is.
Well,
In terms of why the other gods do not include Majin in amongst their their exclusive party.
but you think that Majin? You said that Majin is a god of dreams or concepts.
Yes, both. Less of a god, more of like an embodiment, let us say, the amalgamation of all dreams and thoughts, concepts given form and flesh.
That explains the loneliness.
Have
He's
you met
excluded
him?
from all the clubs.
Them?
He's currently
Excuse
talking
me?
to Aishlin right now.
Ashley.
They just showed up and
Ashley.
Flabbergasted. My gast is well and truly flabbered.
They were a little too insightful into all of us with absolutely no introduction,
well, they can dream.
which is very uncomfortable.
We're very famous.
Oh, that brings with it certain perks, I hear. Yes, sir.
I'm joking. We're not famous.
Most amusing. I am going to, as I said, Majin. Majin is here.
If you could, in your
They
research,
really,
while you're under the table, just dig up as much as you can on them, and if they have any known powers, abilities, what exactly is their realm of influence, if any, and the more you know about your friends, the better.
Yes, knowledge is power. The reverse is seldom true. I will endeavor to do as you ask.
As always, you are a boon to us.
would you happen to know by any case they are the betrayer? Should we expect to be betrayed?
Oh, don't place too much emphasis on names like that. At the top of my head, they have been referred to as the betrayer, the blasphemer, the heretic, the liar, all
None of those are.
derogatory.
Yes.
Well,
Donna, it would be a shame.
Maybe it's the other kids picking.
I was going to say, Duska, it would be a shame
They
to judge
call
a book
themselves
by
that.
color. It's like, yeah.
goodbye. And Corcoran is watching this conversation, realizing that nobody's. He gives your hand a little squeeze, Win, and then quickly waddles back to his
Wait.
books.
Is Niall still
do we-
cooking?
Yes, I'm in the kitchens.
Oh, God. All right, I'm going to go check on him. Zing.
So, do I hear right that you, Dawn and Win, are heading to the Temple of Azuth?
Sure.
Yeah. Dusk, you're welcome to join, but you're not his biggest fan, Dusk.
Very true. I don't know if I would want to go anywhere closer to that place. I will go and look into other temples and see if any of the lines can be skipped.
All right.
Okay.
Generally speaking, any of you who are looking to go to one of these places that has a line, discover that just because nobody is in line does not mean that you could simply come to the front of the line. However, the Temple of Azuth, you see a somewhat scared-looking acolyte, long braids along the side of their hair. A woman, looks to be elven, looking up at the sky, trepidation as you approach. Coin, please?
Oh, and I'm gonna hand her the coin I have.
I'm sorry, you're not next.
I know, but people seem kind of reticent to leave and go where they're, so we were hoping we could.
Oh, yes, I understand.
We're about to do something for the sovereign, likely tomorrow, and this is probably our last day to do this.
Make a persuasion check, please, Don.
Win help.
Can I help her?
How would you like to help her win?
she just
We
starts
really need this to happen.
You start crying?
like just welling up, and in terms of the sympathy that I am hoping to elicit, it's not that it's a fake cry, but she certainly is allowing it to happen purposefully.
So this elven woman looks at you, and you see sympathy in her eyes, and it does appear to be genuine, but there is also, surely she has seen this sort of thing before. But you are able to make your check at advantage, John, if you wish.
+7 is 17.
17. She sighs. She says, well, there is an atrium. I can allow you in there. It's not crowded right now, but I'm afraid entrance into the temple proper, I really have to wait for the proper person at the proper time. I cannot tell you how much trouble I would be in if I just allowed you to cut in line. I hope you understand, and I'm so sorry.
I completely understand. Thank you so much for your assistance. The atrium would be wonderful.
All right, then just step right in there, and please don't go any further.
Okay.
So,
I'm gonna look at Wynn and say, hopefully this is close enough.
so the Temple of Azuth is a little different from the other temples in that rather than the rounded tops, it has more of an angular look to it. Has almost appears to be a crown of sorts in terms of where the towers and peaks of it. There's one major center one, and then there's smaller ones going around it. Appears to be made of a deep blue marble, or a marble that is striated with deep blue. And as you step into, you can see that this atrium is a place that is normally probably full of throngs and throngs of people, but at the moment seems relatively empty. You see a few other people walking around, and every now and then somebody scuffs their foot with a it echoes throughout the entire space rather abruptly. But what is it you wish to do?
We'd go off into one of the corners so that we can kind of be as out of the way as possible as I am going to cast Commune.
All right, you begin
For Wynn, with the hope that the feeling I got when we were previously at the spa is what popped into my head, but that's not correct. The meditation place, the feeling that potentially I could, instead of having to have her communicate through me doing the communicating, allow her to have the connection herself.
So as a minute-long cast, what do you do for this minute?
I would hold my holy symbol and in one hand, and I would take Wynn's hand in the other, and I would kneel on the floor so that I can rest and relax a little bit, and I would just start praying to Azuth, thinking about the regrets that Wynn has relating to her daughter, and how I would like to help her ease those regrets and find a way to turn that into a more positive emotion.
So
for her.
it's a relatively small.
Yeah,
You're
it would
not,
just be-
not a big gesture of ritual or anything like that. It's just
It's a very quiet ritual, just like a lot of the things that I do. Just very quiet, praying, holding Wynn, especially because I am doing this for Wynn and she doesn't enjoy a lot of attention. So,
Wynn, as you are watching Dawn here, you see her holy symbol begin to glow. The glow seems to infuse to help you overcome this current calamity.
And my
And you will regret no more. And be with your daughter.
and I try as hard as I can to let go of more than a century of regret.
This request that was made, it's more about the conflict, about overcoming the conflict of the threat of the Scarlet Malice, as opposed to something you can do right now.
Understood.
But as you ponder these things, the light that is emanating from Dawn dissipates. Dawn, you feel exhausted as you are no longer acting as a channel for a literal god, and you come back to yourself.
Dawn, do you remember?
Am I aware of what
Yeah.
happened?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my god.
I think that if we follow through with this mission, if we overcome this, I could maybe move on.
Yeah. Regret. You hold a lot of regrets, and those can be a strength, and even Jesus sees that in you. Can see that can push you towards something. But honestly, I've pushed myself too far today. Between the crazy lady and the dream god guy, and I channeled a zoo. I need a nap.
Being dead and being a zombie.
Yeah, right? Can we just talk about the last 24 hours? Like, woof.
I've done a lot.
Tell you what, on the subject of
Unreasonable
breaks,
day.
let's take a quick one. See you all back here in 5. And we will resume the activities.
We're not going any further till we've had a breather.
See you back here in 5. Bye, everybody. Or see you soon.
Did you really think I would notice the blatant hubris of the Council of Coastal Wizards? Perhaps they believed altering the fabric of the cosmos would keep me, from my fledgling warlocks, forcing my hand-selected tools to claw and crawl for experience they deem fit to forge a pact with me. Ridiculous. But the slamming of the celestial door made me realize I've committed a sin. I've forgotten about your world. Probably from the monotony of the same story over and over again. Slay the dragon, stop the evil cult, thirst over the vampire. Well, let's change that. Let's make it fun again, shall we? My carnival is coming to your world for a little housekeeping. All those messy rules those wizards put into place will leave a lot of things forgotten after all. I'm sure you won't miss them. But only if you accept my invite to the greatest story I've yet to weave, just for your insignificant ball of rock. All are welcome, from the most accursed king down to the misplaced orphan. I promise that everyone will leave with their souls intact. Seriously, I don't deal in souls. That's so... last millennia.
And welcome back. For those of you who are returning, glad you're back. For those of you who are just joining us, welcome. We're having a great time. This is Severed Threads Notes from the Black Ballad, a fantastic module that is written and edited and produced by the Black Ballad, by Storyteller's Forge. Also, the music that you're listening to is by Diamorte, a fantastic band that has written music for this module. We're really excited to be able to present it for you here. Also, if you like our character art, you have the amazing talents of Kai to thank for that. All of these fantastic individuals and organizations that I've just mentioned, you can find links to their particulars in the chat. If you are enjoying going along on this ride with us for the Black Ballad, then you should know that there are other projects in the works from Storyteller's Forge. A dark carnival, as it were. A new book that is coming out. Somebody help me out, please. Cannot remember. I know it's Dark Carnival.
Festival of Forgotten?
That's it. The Festival of Forgotten. Yes. See what I did there?
Yeah, so good.
See what I did there?
That was intentional.
The forgetfulness that I displayed was a veritable festival. And as such, yes, a new project coming from Storyteller's Forge called Festival of the Forgotten, Dark Carnival, which should be just as much fun as this is. But let's get back into it, shall we? The adventurers are having a bit of a day, time to take care of loose ends here in Noxvillar before they are resummoned to the Sovereign's Court, back to the Onyx Requiem, to receive further instructions on what they might be able to do to try and end resurrection magic for all of existence in the attempts to stem the tide of the Scarlet Malice, which threatens all of creation. Let's see. We've just had Dawn and Wynn have a commune with Azuth. I do believe that Jack was going to go check on Niall in the kitchens of the Onyx Requiem. What's it pronounced? What?
It's a Yak.
Yak. All right. When Yak, you re-enter the Onyx Requiem, and after asking around a little bit, you are directed to the kitchens, which are mostly in a state of chaotic cleanup as the Festival of the Shepherd, the Feast of the Shepherd, was
in a state of denial.
Well, you see, there are pans being being cleaned both by hand and by magic. People running everywhere, piles and piles of sadly uneaten food. As again, the assassination attempt cut the feast quite short. But over in the corner, you do see the form of Niall working away. What does he see, Niall?
I have kind of cornered a station to myself, and there are rows of about 24 flaky, buttery, circular pastry shells that are beautifully crimped. And I am what?
No,
don't interrupt me. And I am with the butt of my glowing knife, I am pulverizing some candied red fruit. And I let go of it for a moment, and I move over to a bowl to pour some of a nougat, this very caramely looking nougat, into one of the pastry shells. And while I do it, the butt of the knife is continuing to pulverize without my hand being there. I fill the pastry shell, and then I return to the knife.
Huh. You know, when you pulverize something with your butt, that's what you get.
Are you actually saying that to me?
I'm so sorry, everybody. We're working to do something about that. It's just something. It pops up every now and then. There's really no way to predict it.
I feel like I need to make a Constitution saving throw.
Right? You see me heave a heavy sigh, and I don't make eye contact with you.
What I love is, like, to my mind, I'm saying that to your back, and I just watch your shoulders go.
Yes, that's exactly what happens. And I pick up the pastry shell that I just filled, and I reach behind and I say, "Eat this."
Oh, is it poisoned?
I don't answer. I just continue to.
Insight.
I just continue.
No.
But if you do take a bite,
I grab it, pop it in my mouth. Yeah.
it is a dragon's breath toffee tart. It has a toffee and honey nougat and iridescent red flakes that are actually candied and peppery dragon fruit, and the pastry
Traces
shell
of
is
iridescence. Yes.
quite light.
Very airy. I say, sweet and crunchy. I think you nailed it. As if we had any doubt.
Jack, if I gave you a bronze piece for your opinion, I'd expect change.
Oh,
I don't
and
trust
here I
your
thought-
palate. I just wanted to make sure you didn't pass out from the heat before I served Imogen.
Oh, I've certainly had hotter things. Oh, there it is. Ow, that's got okay. I'm good. I'm really good. I'm not crying. You're crying.
Just right.
Is there a cake? Oh, good. Yeah, I just like look over at like one of the uneaten cakes and go. I'm fine. It's good. It's good. I can taste the honey.
Perfect. I'm glad you're here.
No. I'm here if you need me to grate anything.
No, please don't touch anything.
What's that?
I'd like to say for the record that I stand by everything I said. I do think that your irresponsibility killed Wynn, and it is entirely your fault. But I believe I owe you an apology.
Hold on a second. I want to remember this moment. Continue.
Don't milk it. I know it wasn't malicious.
Grabs a cup of milk.
My words were harsh because I was terrified. Wynn is the rare voice of reason in our unmerry band of misfits, and the thought of her not being here scared me. I know how close you are to her, and I know you would never do anything to willingly put her in harm's way, and I spoke to you as that were not the case. For that, I'm sorry. But it's still your fault.
I fucked up. And I got my best friend killed. So, fuck your apology. I don't deserve it. Maybe someday I'll be worthy of a Nile apology. But right now I'm just checking in on you and your delicious pastries. And then also, what do you make of Megan?
This is his. I have a feeling that in addition to the sweet and the crunch, he's a person who enjoys heat. And
Well, they seem
Dawn's-
like they're definitely a creature of many palates. But
if Dawn's
I think
insight is correct, and they are lonely and not malicious, it would behoove us to at least be kind to them until we understand what it is they're looking for.
every creature who lives a very long time eventually gets very lonely.
I still don't trust him, Jack.
Oh, God, you kidding me? You don't trust me. And look at this.
True.
I
And
know.
by the way, please, by all means, hold your breath for that apology.
Nice.
Zing.
All right. Anything else, gentlemen?
Please
I'm
remind
just-
him to breathe.
Jack, breathe, for goodness sake.
And last but not least, Dusk, is there anything that you wish to take care of here in Noxvillar before being sent wherever it is you're about to be sent?
No, she's just aggressively people watching.
What does that look like?
There's just daggers that every passerby is just like.
She's sitting by that great tree in the middle, and she's just looking around. She notices
Just
someone
really
looks at
walks by you by, she's like, "Good day." She's like, "Yeah, you would."
There's really not that many people around, so
I know.
they are very aware that you are watching and glaring at them. As they sort of watching, and then their pace increases.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
Can we also say that like every time someone goes to walk by her, it's behold!
You sniveling snot! Yes, indeed. As Hugo, Staff of Dread, is in rare form. Amazing. You mean I got to do it again? You got it! Behold! Just keep it up! Keep them coming! Yeah! So, after a period of time of taking care of various to-do things on your to-do list here in Noxvillar, and also, in fact, getting a long rest, even if that doesn't actually take the form of sleep, as you do not require sleep in your current state, although it is still something that you might like to do occasionally, just because it feels good. But
we got all of our stuff back, right?
Yes.
Like the breastplate and stuff that we bought. 100%. We got all of that.
Everything's back.
And our fancy outfits.
Yes, fancy outfits.
Yes.
Great.
Oh, thank God. All right.
Okay.
Thank the DM.
Armor class.
Magnanimous is the DM who returns to me my fictional outfit.
Wear them in peace, my devoted subject. The following day, you are once again summoned back to the Onyx Requiem. You are quickly escorted inside. Gone are all signs of the previous night's events. Broken glass has been completely swept away, tables and chairs cleared. There is a little bit of a smell of an earthy incense, which has cleared the scent of blood. And it also seems to contribute to a sense of seriousness that permeates this space. In front of the Sovereign, in the throne room, you see the ever-present Arbiter, Phelan the Jade, but also a group of 4 well-equipped individuals that are unmistakably alive. You see a slight individual, but nevertheless looks wiry and powerful, wearing glasses, a little bit sort of a scholarly look to them. They have a staff in one hand, a sack that has a large number of scrolls and books in the other one, and on their back a strange set of mechanical wings, almost like a foldable glider. You also see a tall, black-skinned dragonborn who is wearing leather armor and possesses the largest bow you've ever seen. You see a woman wearing all gold and possessing a elaborate scythe, which seems to have a little bit of a glow to it. Has pale skin and a slight iridescence in her eyes. And you also see a dark-skinned female warrior. She is wearing a symbol of the House of the Sovereign at her neck, has a large glaive and plate armor, and all of them, as I said, look unmistakably alive. And Ashlyn sees you all come in and stands and nods to you and motions you forward. As you come forward, you see Johan is also there, standing very stiffly as Majin whispering something in his ear. Ashlyn.
Welcome, adventurers. Sorry, just felt appropriate.
Indeed.
Carry on.
Ashlyn conveys to you the following information. We have decided that Majin's course of action, is the only one that we have at our disposal. And therefore, we will send two groups of ambassadors to the domain of dead and the domain of life. Only the dead may enter the domain of dead, and therefore you, she gestures to you all, will be our ambassadors there. And this group of adventurers, who are known to us through their various deeds, both in the mortal world and here in the Sunless Crossing, will travel to the domain of life. The portals to these domains lie deep within the storm of broken worlds, the maelstrom that surrounds the Sunless Crossing. So you must travel to the very edge of the Sunless Crossing and find your way into the storm and then into the portals. Both of these domains act as anchor points for this entire realm. Majin claims to know the location of the portal to the domain of dread, the domain of the dead. Therefore, they will be accompanying you. She motions to you all. And Johann claims to have seen the portal to the domain of life, and therefore he will be accompanying our living heroes. More and more news is coming to Nox Valar regarding the state of the Ashen Fields. It is not good. Expect a very dangerous journey. Haste is of the utmost importance, as things seem to be getting worse with each turn of the Great Hourglass. To aid you in your journey, I present you with these. And she motions, and Valen the Jade comes over very somberly and bestows upon each of you a leather bandolier that has affixed to it 3 large crystals, 1 yellow, 1 red, and 1 deep blue. Each of these embody a magical effect that will aid you in your quest. To use them, simply touch, will the power to manifest. The crystal will drain in color, and the effect will be made present. Essentially, you've just been given 3 potions. Each of you now possess a potion of superior healing, a potion of heroism, and a potion of greater restoration. Unlike potions, these cannot be administered to other people, only to yourself. Each of them require a bonus action to activate.
Bonus action, okay. And you said it was a red, yellow, and what color, Gem?
Blue. The red
Blue.
being the
Blue.
potion of superior healing, yellow being the potion of heroism, and blue being the potion of greater restoration.
Greater restoration. Lovely.
I will now listen to any further questions that you have.
This is how we feel going into the realm of the dead. Just like,
We're gonna get deader.
How do we weather the storm?
It will be difficult. You will need to rely on all of your strength and all of your power and the quality of your guide. She looks over at Majin, who looks at you all and smiles broadly. It'll be fun.
That's the word we should have in our minds going into this?
Well, I wouldn't presume to tell you what you should or shouldn't think. I intend to have fun. Why should we have anything else?
And best case scenario, we make it to the realm. Do you plan on doing the talking?
Oh, no. No.
Fascinating. Why not?
Okay.
Well, I'm not dead. At least I don't think I am.
Oh. Very well then.
Okay.
I lean over to Dawn. Do you think there's any way that we could have them tell each other the location of the portal so we can take Johann?
Honestly, I'm kind of I'm really curious about them. I kind of want to travel with them.
Why, do you have a crush on them?
No, it was really it was intense what I felt yesterday, but
That
it's
sounds like
not
a crush. Okay.
It's not for them.
For the
But-
record, you're both very loud whisperers.
I know.
I enjoyed it too.
I wasn't whispering to you.
I'm glad it was good for both of us.
No questions, but if you do have any other wisdom before we subject ourselves to the storm, we would greatly take it.
Do we need something to give the domain of the dead to convince, to
I have
water this
no
conversation?
idea what
Wonderful.
one would say to such an incomprehensibly powerful entity. Try to convince them of the seriousness of the problem. I do not know if you can beg or barter or threaten. I trust your judgment. I'm sending you, and in you I have faith. And in you. And she turns to the living group, and the dark-skinned Dragonborn gives a nod and says, "This will be an interesting adventure, but not one that we will shirk from. We know our duty."
Travel safely, then. For all
And
of
to
us.
you.
Nice bow.
Thank you. It was my father's.
It's not.
Yeah, it is.
So we're just going. We're just going now. Okay.
I did say that haste was necessary.
Yes.
We did mention that, didn't we? Yeah.
Mm.
Come on, guys. We're getting good at getting dead.
Was there a sweet and crunchy thing to eat?
Oh, were they not given to you?
Is this them?
All 24. Well, 23. Jack had one.
This is food? I thought it was, I don't know, a decoration.
Well, they are both. Crunch away, my friend.
Mmm. Mmm. That's amazing.
I know. Now,
Thank
if you
you.
manage to keep us from getting killed, maybe I'll make you some more.
Well, that's tempting. I'll think about it.
I'm counting on it.
As you exit the city, or exit the Onyx Requiem, once again, you are traveling along with your living counterparts, as it were. The dark-skinned human woman comes over and sort of looks at you all and sort of swallows a moment and then asserts herself a bit more as she turns to you in. Do you mind me asking, what's it like being dead?
It's nothing like I thought it would be. Just feels like more life, but somewhere else.
Huh.
A little stiff.
Don't listen to him, ever, about anything.
So not bad, is what you're saying.
Confusing, not painful.
Okay. Well, that's good to know.
I
Takes a
still
little
wouldn't
bit of weight off, I
recommend it
suppose.
specifically.
Certainly doesn't raise your spirits.
Truly, never.
Jack,
I'm sure everything will be fine.
read the room.
There's nothing to worry about.
Do we have a backpack?
Flick! No.
So she seems a little nervous, Win. But
Then
why wouldn't she be?
As I pick up on that, I start to lean in and say, can I tell what class she is by her garb, Sean?
Make a perception check.
I got 23.
A 23. Ooh. So the emblem that she has around her neck is clearly a symbol of the House of the Sovereign, but you see emblazoned into her armor, there is a large gauntleted hand. It would seem that she is a worshiper of the god Torm.
Cleric.
Torm the True. Torm, the god of paladins.
Oh, paladin. Got it. So, I lean in and say, one paladin to another, your armor is strong, your blade is sharp, and you've survived much worse than this. And if you don't, you'll survive something else later.
Thanks. I think. I have to say, I don't envy where you're going. The literal domain of death.
What can it do to us that it couldn't when we were alive?
I suppose that's true.
But you're right, I would trade with you if we could.
Johan happens to overhear this and he steps forward and says, well, you're right. Our journey is bound to be, at least in the Ashen Fields, perilous, but I've never been actually in the domain of life, but I'm sure it's going to be more pleasant than the domain of death.
Thank you.
Well, don't sell yourself short, Johan. If it's anything like you, we'll have a pleasant time.
That's very kind of you to say. Allow me to extend my best wishes to you all. I wish that your experience here had been more what I was expecting it to be. You all seem, well, I've come to know you all to be very good people. And you don't deserve what's happening to you. If I could do anything to change it, I would.
Honestly, Johan, you've done quite a lot, and we are all grateful.
Our dear shepherd, we could not have been in better hands. Exemplary service.
See, it's comments like that just really, really endear you all to me. So,
and regretting the situation we're in, there's no point in it, because now we get to help others. So it's what we did in life. It's now we get to do in death. So, and we're together.
Yes. Indeed.
As much as we sometimes dislike that, I think we actually all like each other.
Speak for yourself.
Deep down.
So
you wouldn't still be with us, Niall, if you didn't like us a little bit.
Yeah, flutters over to Niall, gives him a little hug. Yeah, we do.
I've had many people in my charge, but you all are special. Good luck to you as you pass through the wings of the enduring threshold. Remember the portal that is at the bottom that you have to go through a pathway up through the plateau to actually get to the city. So heading back down it, you enter into the Ashen Fields again. There have been some Nixian guards that have escorted you up to this point. They turn and look back at the large looming face of the Guardian's Rest. And they give a nod of respect to all of the long-past brethren, the various gargoyles that make up the interior and exterior of the Enduring Threshold. And Valen the Jade is there, and he turns to you and he says, we all wish you safe travels and success on your mission.
Please keep her safe.
I shall.
Keep yourself safe as well.
looks at you, gives a slight nod, and then turns and goes back inside and back into the city of Nox Valar. And Majin turns to you all and says, well. Then he turns to you, Jack. How about a horse?
How about a whole herd of horses?
How much do you know about us?
I like to think I know a lot, you know.
Not you, Jack.
Them, yeah.
Jack, if you were any dumber, I'd have to water you once a day.
Oh,
Can you do that anyway?
No, you would.
Sorry, you seem to know a lot about us, Major, that we haven't said to you.
I do, don't I?
Yeah, how?
Oh. I just do.
You do realize
Horses?
that is unsettling, yes?
I think they like unsettling people.
I think I do too.
You always like the pretty ones.
Okay, what's happening here? Is this a little spark happening? All right. Because I can make one
He's
left.
watching you
horse.
intently as you begin to summon your horses, Jack, just following every move.
It's like, God, I hope they are made of bones again. So he again is beginning to. You see
All right,
this?
Yes, of course.
He from seemingly out of nowhere pulls this crystal ball and it begins to just circulate it in his hands. And as he does so, it spins faster and faster and faster. He cranks it back, throws it in front of him, and as in front of him, it then splits off into separate. I think I can do up to 6, but I don't need 6. I only need 1, 2, 3. Right? Yeah,
6.
4.
What?
I need 6.
Well, you need
You need
one for
5
Major.
because
Oh,
you need 5 because there's 5 of us, and Win has her own.
5, and then Moi is small and can go ahead and don't worry, I'll ride with Niall. I'm sure he'll love it. So he goes ahead and splits it off, and as he does this, like
Please
the oars
do.
spin, and then splits it, and they all drop into the distance, and you kind of see them fall off into the field. And then he goes. And then suddenly 4 beautiful white horses come galloping up to them. It's like, oh, please don't let them be bones. Please don't let them be bones. Please don't let them be bones.
As they're
And-
coming towards you, Majin looks at them and says, "Oh, those are horses."
Well, of course.
No.
It's not that obvious.
No. Something else. And he waves his hand, and as he does, the horses morph. And 5 velociraptors begin running across the field towards you. That will be much safer.
And wait, they only have 2 legs.
But look at the claws and the teeth.
Please don't change my mount into a dinosaur.
Could I have suggested a flying mount for us? Wouldn't that have been faster?
As you say that, a series of red
Oh, no.
streaked souls go across the sky.
Maybe ground is better.
Well, dynamite. All right, let's get underway.
So the velociraptors snap back and forth with their teeth, their large reptilian eyes. Majin hops back and forth, claps his hands, says, "This is more like it." No offense.
I'm gonna have to talk to you about the charm of a horse at some point, but not to belay the point.
You turned me into a dragon when we got here. So this is
Okay.
a little your vibe too.
First
you know
off,
how
that was
hard
cool.
it is to get animals here, especially whole animals.
Do you understand the nature of why that is? I've been very curious as to why we haven't seen any.
What are you talking about? We have one giant
Yes.
apple right over there.
And he jumps onto the velociraptor, which raises up and rears almost like a horse, sort of like, and then begins to run across the fields, the ashen fields, like a tauntaun, as you all watch Majin begin to move, waiting for you all, but he seems to be having, they seem to be having the time of their life.
Well, off we go then. And I will try to jump on a velociraptor before Jack can climb behind me. Follow him.
I'm also going to jump out of velociraptor.
The velociraptors seem to be have no problem with you riding them.
Their attitude is rather infectious. I'm going to jump on another velociraptor and follow.
Right.
As you begin to make your way across the ashen fields, Wynn on her Cerberus-like two-headed dog, that you will recall that in times of battle, the two heads split apart, and it's the one head, and the one head splits apart, and out comes a skull, the other two halves on either side.
Yes, I have my own little lady Cerberus.
Yes,
so awesome.
And you begin to make your way away from Nox Valar. This journey takes several days, during which you see much evidence of the deteriorating state of the Sunless Crossing. You are riding along as you hear a scream echoes through the air, and you see in the distance what appears to be a man running for his life as several dark wraith-like creatures are flying over him. The scream cuts off quickly as these shadows converge upon this individual and then rise up, leaving absolutely nothing in their wake as they fly away, moving off to some other victim. Yes, indeed.
Scary wraith noises.
God, those wraith sounds.
Lady Cerberus is mad.
You see camps of the Accursed Guard and Legionnaires. You see skirmishes. One part of your journey, you see a trio of shadowy figures that appear to be performing some sort of ritual. The lightning in the sky begins to bind itself together in what appears to be the form of some giant winged being. Getting larger and larger as they are holding their hands up to the sky in a state of what appears to be rapturous ecstasy. But before this object, this creature can manifest, it flashes and then dissipates. The three individuals converse for a moment and then move off to someplace else. Whenever you see any of these things in the distance and seem perhaps inclined to investigate, Majin reminds you that time is of the essence and convinces you to leave these curiosities and these horrible things to unmolested. But as you are traveling, if anybody of you have any more questions for Majin, it would seem only natural for over the course of the journey for him to be interrogated more by you.
I would press on the animals question. I would want to know if they understand why animals don't exist here easily.
Well, it's probably a matter of space.
Well, that makes no sense to me.
I'm sorry.
Do people resurrect animals?
I imagine they could.
So, can we just back up a second? How do you not know what a horse is?
Dusk didn't know what a sheep was for a long time.
Okay,
They're
but Dusk
very
is
different.
We don't have to retread on things that I know now.
Knowing what a horse is different than riding a horse. And I don't know. I thought that this would be better. They're
no
thicker skinned, right? Doom, doom, doom. And overall angrier seems like a better thing to ride on in this sort of place.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Sometimes, yeah, but you're just fascinating, Majin. I mean, you speak of having witnessed many, many things and a knowledge of events that we certainly don't have. So, have you seen something like this Scarlet Malice before?
No, I haven't. It's a big problem. And one that I think behooves anyone who has knowledge of it to try and solve, don't you? I mean, the end of everything.
I mean, I'm literally dead, and I'm still trying to solve this problem. So, yeah,
See what I mean?
no, I think you've got the right of it there.
Life and death matter.
Oh, yeah.
And I think that this continued cycle should continue. And I think that in many ways, resurrection circumvents this natural order and prevents eventualities that are frankly perverse. Think about a villain who abuses their power with no fear of death because they know their followers will resurrect them. Or holy wars, which go on, in which the balance of power is always tipping one way or the other because heroes, once felled on either side, can be resurrected. It's not the right way of things. And
Honestly,
I think
don't
that is perhaps what has brought about this calamity that we now find ourselves in. Just as I said, a symptom of a greater problem.
So your issue is more with resurrection magic in general, and where this would fix potential or staunch the bleeding of the scarlet malice. It would also solve a problem that you see as an imbalance in the powers and people being able to resurrect.
Well, I cannot imagine that the end of the resurrection state of things will continue much past the solving of this problem, but it would be something, wouldn't it? If life and death actually mattered the way they were intended to.
You've got a point. As it
Thank you.
is, only the very privileged few are even offered an opportunity to resurrect. It's terribly unjust.
It's all Nixia's fault, really. She was obsessed with resurrection, I expect, and naive, and it doomed her to this eternal slumber, which powers this place.
Slumber?
And,
You speak as if you knew her.
Well,
I'm s-
I know of her.
You say slumber.
Sorry.
I thought she was
Yes.
sacrificed.
Well, she wasn't completely done away with, at least as far as I know. She exists. Otherwise, this place wouldn't exist. She's just asleep. Or maybe dead. Maybe asleep so deep that she might as well be dead.
I mean, to die, to sleep.
Perchance
Something like that.
to something.
To dream.
At any rate,
Can I ask you a personal question?
you can ask any question you like.
Did you give yourself the moniker the Betrayer?
I don't think
Or
so.
where did that came from?
So betrayer.
It's
What
been-
about that? It's like-
Betrayer!
Say more about that.
I don't think, to be perfectly honest, I don't actually remember. It was a long time ago.
Ah.
Given to me by someone who didn't like me very much, I don't think.
Oh, what's in a name?
Do I keep it?
Well, it gets people talking. Makes an impression. I like making impressions. Good.
Very.
You spoke of a deity you served.
Oh, yes.
Tell us about them.
Perhaps serving a deity is not the right way to put it. I fulfill a function, and that function fits in with this entity's grand scheme.
Continue.
That's pretty much all there is.
Are you happy fulfilling that function?
I am happy to be riding the ashen fields on the backs of these horses.
Velociraptors.
Oh, okay. These velociraptor horses.
Fair enough.
As you are making your way...
Horses?
Horsoraptors.
Horsoraptors.
As you're making your way...
Horaptors.
Raptorsaurs. As you...
Quick, to the Horaptors!
Oh, Lord.
It's pronounced.
That's actually the entirety of the journey, is us just figuring out what these damn things are called. Yeah.
Majin seems quite content to discuss that. But as you make your way closer and closer to the edge of the Sunless Crossing, you watch as the golden grasses of the Ashen Field begin to thin a bit. They're no longer...
Wait, are you saying that on this plane of existence, Earth is flat?
It would appear to be.
It's not a globe. It won't just come back around on itself.
It would
It's the
appear to
flat
be
Earth.
that you are actually
You just fall
coming
off
to
the
edge.
end.
Yes.
No,
Indeed.
don't feed it. Don't feed that. No.
But as you get closer to the edge of it, winds do begin to pick up. You don't see the swirls of the winds of Rue, but the wind is such that the grass is not able to be as thick here. But through it, directly ahead of you, directly in your path, you see what appears to be a skirmish. You see armored legionnaires openly clashing with accursed guards, and you see arrows and arcane energy flying back and forth, and roars of absolute hatred coming from the throats of these individuals. You also see there is a huddled group of travelers who have circled a colorful patchwork group of wagons in an attempt to protect themselves from this chaos that is raging around them. You see a woman who is crouched down and protecting what appears to be a small child with her body. She spots you all, and despite the distance, you can feel the pleading behind her eyes as she looks at you all.
Majin,
I look at Dawn.
Majin,
Mm.
you seem to know us pretty well. You must know that there's no way I'm riding on.
Yes, I suppose that's true. Well, try to be quick. And he dismounts from the Horaptor and sits on the ground and pulls out some more of the crunchy, sweet treats that Niall made him, and sits down cross-legged and begins to eat.
Oh, thanks for the help. And we run into the fray.
Hold on, before we go, I am tired of seeing you guys die, so if I can do anything to stop it, for some of you, Jack, I'm sorry, you're usually flying and out of the fray a little bit, and I'm going to look, and suddenly Dusk, Wynn, and Niall are going to just glow pink, and all over their body, and then it's just going to condense down to their hearts before it disappears completely. And I've cast Aid at 4th level on all of them, and they all get 20 temporary hit points.
My goodness.
Ooh.
Wow.
So a fantastic way to start this fight, but let's start it indeed, shall we? Alrighty.
And then we'll run into the fray, because that's what we do.
So that is not.
I'm going to try really hard not to take this
You try
personally.
again. One of these
You and
days,
I get
will-
hit the least.
One of these days, I will learn to correctly label my maps so that I don't constantly send people to the wrong place.
But it's a pretty map.
It was.
It
So,
is.
meanwhile-
This one, however, is far more apropos for the moment at hand.
appropriate.
So you find yourselves at the bottom right-hand corner of the page.
Lovely.
There we are.
The accursed guard and the legionnaires should be clearly marked. You see the
Okay.
carts around the people in the middle who are all huddling. The sounds of battle are intense. We will roll initiative.
Where are the survivors located?
Yeah,
in the
I-
very center of
In
the,
here.
Do not see any people in the middle, Sean.
But it's in that grove.
Okay.
For the
It's not a
tree.
group. Those are actually people. There's about 50 of them.
Oh, they look like trees, but
know
they're
what?
people when you zoom in.
They are indeed people. Yes, people trees.
Oh, holy crap!
People
Yeah,
trees.
no. Huh. It's like, oh, this is a well-protected grove. We'll just move along. All right.
I rolled 11. It is not populating on roll 20.
I will.
Oh my
fix it
God.
for you. Yes,
All
but
right.
please, do all of you please have physical dice with you if you can, just so that we can anticipate any potential
Yeah.
problems. An
Hiccups.
11, you say, win.
Yes.
So Dusk and Dawn and Nile and Legionnaires, here's a guard win. Jack, what did you get?
Oh, I rolled a 10.
10, did you?
I
Very
did. I
good.
did, but
So we have Nile at the top, Legionnaires second, Win, then Jack, and then the Accursed Guard at the Dusk, and then Dawn. Nobody rolled above a 15.
Yeah.
Which
Wow.
means at the very start of this combat, I need one of you to roll a d8.
ooh,
Choose amongst yourselves, friends.
I'll do it.
I'll do the first one.
Go for it.
All right. First roll. I rolled a 1 on my
One.
severed threads. But that could be good. It could be good.
In point of fact, it is good. As this
yay.
battle rages on, there is a great deal of magic and weaponry being thrown back and forth. You find yourselves having to duck and weave to get through it. However, you manage to do so successfully, making your way to this fight. The Accursed Guard and Legionnaires appear to be concentrating mostly on each other, but they are aware of your presence as you come running in. Nile, it is your turn.
All right. Knowing that this is going to put Wynn's mind at rest, I am going to run in towards the center of the group of people. I'm going to brandish my whip. I will use my bonus action to dash, so I get close to the center of the group, and I reel back with my right hand, and I whip my whip just at the feet of the woman clutching a child, and the 4 points of my whip tear open the fabric of the ground, and I am casting Rope Trick to let 8 of these survivors descend into this other dimension in safety.
Very good. And you are using Fate Ripper as your focus for this spell.
I
Since
am
you
using
don't
Fate
actually
Ripper.
have the
I
components.
have no
for it.
components. Yes,
but
that
the
is
Fate
correct.
Ripper does act as a spell focus, so you're able to use it. She looks at you with fear and recoils at first as you come rushing up to you. The Accursed Guard all appear to be wearing armor and helmets, almost like Knights Templar. The Legionnaires have much more of a ragtag mercenaries look. All of them, you see massive wounds and look like they've been through absolute hell. But as you come running up to her, she looks at you and clutches her child closer to her, eyes wide with fear.
I just nod at her and say, "Hold tight." And 8 of the people in the group, the woman, the child, and 6 others that happen to be nearby, fall into this other dimensional space.
Fantastic. That means there are now 42 individuals here in the middle who are endangered. Nile, that is your move, that is your action. Anything else?
Nope, the bonus action was to dash into that fray, so I'm done.
Very good. The Legionnaires fight their various targets and pay no attention to the rest of the group. That's going to bring us to Win.
Just need to confirm. I know the Cursed Guard are bad guys, but in this moment, the Legionnaires are as well?
I would say it does not appear that any of these combatants are having any regard whatsoever for the effect their attacks might be having on the innocents that are hiding.
Great. That's what I think. So I'm going to move 30 feet. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 40. Closer to the... Hello. Closer to this group of the sort of east, a little bit north of me, fighting Legionnaire and a Cursed Guard.
Sort of on the right-hand outskirts of the wagon circle.
And the ones that are closest to me. But then I am going to cast Moonbeam on them.
Ooh, Moonbeam.
So
you saw me standing alone. What does it look like when you cast Moonbeam here?
All right. So when I normally cast Moonbeam, it is a column of what looks like ice in the moon. So it's looks like we're being showered down with icy snow if you're caught inside of it. But when this is the first time I've cast it here, and instead of icy snow column, it's more like needles of ice in a chaotic little swirl, and they have a tinge of black in them as if they are dirty icicles.
So just like very, very thin, dirty icicles, black icicles coming down just in a torrent.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Where will you put that?
Right in the middle of these two gentlemen so that it hits them both.
Alrighty. Indeed. So you are now concentrating on Moonbeam.
That's
Is anybody else seeing two moonbeams, or is it just me?
I'm just seeing the one.
I just see the
Good.
one.
See just the one?
All right, good. Excellent.
like,
Sometimes
carry
more
on.
than one comes out, but if I'm the only one seeing it, then we'll just move on. Brings us to Jack.
All right. So, Yak is going to go ahead and fly.
My
How could you
Yes.
forget?
Yeah, just in case. The accent is on the. All right, and then is that what I said?
He is a dick.
And and these are 5 foot squares, yeah.
They are indeed.
10, 20, 25, 30. All right, lovely. So he's going to go ahead and perch himself up onto this wagon.
Okay.
And as he does so, he is then going to go ahead and cast another round of Conjure Animals. And he's going to summon 8 riding horses. And then he's going to summon them within the circle here and then shout down to the group and say, 8 of your best riders, make a break for it. And say, take as many as you can. And then has anyone been attacked yet?
Not yet. The
Love
Legionnaires
it.
were busy fighting their counterparts.
That's perfectly fine. Let them fight the counterparts. And at that point, having summoned, so I'll summon the 8 horses in. Well, you can't see that, DM. That's so. As he sort of summons them into the southern half of the circle, you see again these horses again, and Yak takes that spinning crystal, throws it, casts it down to the ground. As he casts it on the ground, it shatters in this giant flashbang, and as it does so, like 8 crystal horses come out of the ground. As they then start to then shake their manes for the first time, the crystal cracks off of them, and they become again those skeletal horses that are very reminiscent of the Underdark from Zelda. So as you have those 8 skeletal horses, I promise you, they won't bite. But 8 of your best skilled riders and anyone that they can carry, get out of here now. Let's say the Sunless Crossing is that way. Save yourselves.
They look at these skeletal horses with trepidation and look around. I'm going to go with a persuasion check from you.
Love that.
Jack. They are obviously concerned for their lives, but they seem reluctant to leave behind these carts. So, but the situation being what it is, then you get advantage on this. And this is Conjure Animals, correct?
This is Conjure Animals, yes. Yes, indeed. All right, so with advantage, that is going to be an 18 on the die with a total of, is my persuasion?
Mm-hmm.
That'll be 30 for persuasion.
30. You see a little bit of uncertainty as they look around at all of their belongings or whatever all of this is, and then acceptance as they realize they have to get out of here. And it looks like they're going to prepare for just that. I would like to point out that you are concentrating now on Conjure Animals. It lasts for an hour.
I am. Oh, wait, hang on. So that means our raptors go away then.
Yes, the raptors are gone.
Yeah. Bye, raptors.
And I would also point out, if probably this day you would have already cast raptors, so go ahead and mark off that spell slot as well.
Oh, yeah. No. I know I have burned 2 animal slots.
Alrighty.
Forget that phrasing. All right.
It is now the Accursed Guard's turn, as most of them seem content to continue fighting the Legionnaires, their hatred being matched by each other. This one comes forward. It looks like he's getting ready to attack Accursed Guard. Seize the spell. So this is over on your side, Win, where this moonbeam, these ice shards are coming down. Moves to the side of where the Legionnaire and the Accursed Guard being affected by this spell are, and points at you and with his sword, and you feel a cold sensation creep up the back of your neck as this Accursed Guard casts Hex upon you. Oh. And then is going to fire 3 Eldritch Blasts at you, each one of them emanating from the edge of his sword as he concentrates, and a pulse of blackish green energy shoots out of it, finding its way directly towards you. We'll see as you are hexed, and we'll see whether or not it hits you with his Eldritch Blasts. So a 10 is going to miss.
Miss. Yep.
Readjusts his aim. A 17.
Miss.
And the final one is a 19.
Miss.
All of them miss.
Wow.
Good. There's another Accursed Guard. There's another Accursed Guard that is going to run forward as he sees evidence of magic being cast within the center portion here. Not quite aware of what it is. Looks around, sees Niall right there with the group, and brings out his sword, focuses at you, and begins to concentrate. As they do, you see this same energy forming at the edge of his blade, but you recall the incredibly powerful Eldritch Blasts that these Accursed Guard are able to manifest as seems to concentrate, and you see each one of these pulses seems like he's actually casting an Eldritch Blast, which moves down the blade and then stops at its tip and charges up. And then with a scream of primal rage, an enormous blast of energy shoots towards you as he is going to cast Greater Eldritch Blast upon you.
This hit me once before
Counterspell.
and it sucked.
You cast Counterspell.
Yeah, counterspell.
Give me a second here.
I know, he's not as tanky as the other one.
Right. This particular Accursed Guard does not seem to have Counterspell prepared. So as this blast of energy that looks like it is almost as large as Niall's entire body moves across the area here, Niall, you wince as it appears like it's heading right for your head. You wince as... What do you do to counter the spell, Jack?
Oh, it's fantastic. I pull out my Bandor and I just give a nice little like, not today, Satan! Fire off a shot, and it immediately, like, as it's going doom, 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 bing! It just like powers down the sword.
Right before it hits you, Niall, it dissipates. And that is that Accursed Guard. There is one other Accursed Guard that is available to do something, but he is not able to see Niall due to the crowd, but does see Jack and identifies Jack as a threat. It's going to take a few steps forward. Let me see what this accursed guard has in store for you.
But there's so many
gonna blow him
people
a
in the way.
Mwah. He's got a crush on Jack.
Yes.
He is going to Misty Step to here.
Oh.
To give him a smooch.
So
I
he
think
actually
he's
moved
going
on
to
a
come
little
in.
bit further, and then Misty stepped to get clear of the crowd of people in the middle.
And
so
the
right there.
people having been saved by us immediately mob him. No? Yes?
Ooh.
No?
Let's see. He is going to. He's going to use Deadly Insight to give himself advantage on ranged attacks.
You
Ooh.
saucy minx.
And he is going to do Eldritch Blasts. The first Eldritch
Oh.
Blast is a 16 to hit you, Jack.
Nope.
All right. Second Eldritch Blast is
Very
14. And
He's
the third
not
one
going to hit.
is an 11. My God. How is this happening?
How's it feel to be us,
Float like a,
DM?
I know, right?
float like a butterfly, sting like a
many
yes. Yeah. So, trust me, after our fight as zombies, like we are owed at least a couple of rounds of not sucking.
So bad.
Interesting.
I also think-
I don't know that my rolls came out correctly there. I know at least one of them. Yeah, we will let that one pass this time. But I'm gonna have to do something differently next time I roll. For whatever reason, that did not roll correctly. But let it go for this time. This time,
maybe
that's gonna bring
maybe
us to
I
dusk.
rolled persuasion on your computer,
Yes.
DM.
I shall say that on their turn, because of the moonbeam, a cursed guard needs to make a Constitution save.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's more
'Cause
like
it's the best spell ever.
25 is what they have rolled.
Well,
I'm sorry, they rolled a 25?
Yes,
Well.
so that is the Constitution saving throw. Win. What is the damage on your?
it is apologies, just 2d10. So he'll take half of. And where's your 10? It's gonna.
That and I. Do you have Milady as part of this combat?
She usually goes right after me, and I thought of it too late in the first round, so she should go.
You want to have her go?
But if she-
Here, we can have her go right now if you wish.
Sure.
But if she doesn't, then you can't target her, right?
Well, she's a coming. She's okay. She's okay. She brave.
Do
So
you
I'm
want
gonna-
to be riding her, I guess is the question, or do you want her to
Oh.
go into combat?
I guess I am riding her. So for now, she's gonna chill until she's close enough to bite someone. Can I ready an
Alrighty.
attack from her?
Yes, you could have her ready attack the what would be the trigger?
As soon as she is close enough to either an legionnaire or an accursed guard, she'll bite.
All right. Very good. Let's see. We'll just use it has the same stats as a mastiff, as I recall. We just
Yeah.
made her bigger.
Yes.
Okay.
You big puppy.
Sweet puppy.
Big three-headed puppy.
All right. Dawn.
Wait, I didn't go.
It's Dusk's turn.
Dusk. My fault.
From dawn till dusk.
I like to think that the party does that all the time. Like dawn, dusk,
Yeah.
dawn,
Oh,
dusk.
absolutely. Yeah.
Could you guys pick names that were farther apart from each other?
She was a forgotten child in her family, and now at the party too. It's
All right.
No.
What is the plan,
No.
Dusk?
30. I'm gonna move up 30, closer to Win,
Okay.
and I'm going to target the. Oh,
Oh my God! I love them.
It's Ballad.
It's my lady.
My lady.
Obsessed.
Of course, you
Wrong.
picked the most adorable picture for the frickin' token of the dog that you're now trying to kill, you monster.
That's
I'm going to
persuasion.
target
All the
arc-
monsters, Ryan. All of them.
I'm going to target the accursed guard that targeted Win,
You got it.
and I'm going to cast my Divine Wrath.
Okay. Now doing acid
22.
damage.
Yes, now I do the acid's damage.
Alrighty.
So,
What does the
22?
acid damage Divine Wrath cast look like?
I will kind of motion my hand, almost as if like throwing a softball, but instead it just kind of gathers and a see-through, like amalgamation of this green, almost spectrally looking liquid is thrown from her hand at a much faster pace than her actual hand movement was.
So like slime?
Yeah, and dripping as it goes, but it doesn't seem to affect anything that is dripped on the way until the actual splatter on her target.
Oh, cool. So the ball of acid moves forward, and as it does, it drips down, but it doesn't actually burn anything until it hits the target?
Yes.
That's cool. All right, we'll make that attack.
So I rolled a 22.
Well, that hits.
Okay, then I will roll. So that's 4, and I'm going to use 2 divinity dice
All right.
to do 2 more.
This is a class that you can find in the Black Ballad, the Godless Cleric.
Incarnate subclass, and using the divinity dice that are given to you, you have a certain amount that you can use for each spell and stuff. So 2, 6, so that's 8. And then 3, so that's 11.
Got it. Total damage
And
is?
11, and can we put, I need to be able to mark the target that I hit.
You got it.
For this type of damage.
You got it. I'll give them a little green circle. So
Thank you.
as the shard of Savras that you have in your possession begins to glow, you concentrate on it, lob this acid. It seems like when you first lob it, there's nothing there, and it is ephemeral and not really there. But as it makes its arc, it becomes more and more manifest. Until as it appears right in front of this accursed guard, it actually has a crackling and a burning. It's almost as if it's actually eating away the air as it moves across, strikes this accursed guard right on their arm, and they let out a hiss of pain as you watch some of their armor and their cloak eaten away by this substance.
And the cool thing about doing acid damage is at the end of their turn, they're gonna take half of that damage again.
Oh, goodness. So
Which
there's
is
11
why-
total, so that would be 5.
Marking. Yep.
Okay. Good to know. All right, that is your action and move. Anything else, Dusk?
That is all.
All right, brings us to Dawn.
Okay. I'm going to step forward 5. I'm going to move to the west, my full movement.
All right.
And then I'm going to pull my hands together and just start expanding them out, and you'd expect to see something happening between my hands just from the motion I'm making, but actually over to the side over here in the center of where all of these people are off to the west, these accursed guards and legionnaires, that's actually where suddenly a light shows up and starts expanding and growing until there is a 30-foot radius, 40-foot high cylinder of daylight.
Oh, goodness.
As I cast Dawn.
Oh,
Don't
my.
cast Dawn.
Goodness.
I had to take the spell. It's named after me.
Maybe you're named after it. That's going to warrant a spell template. Give me a moment here to bring it
Yeah,
out.
sorry. I forgot to give you the heads up that I needed a 30-foot radius.
All right.
There.
Yeah, hey, just FYI. Yeah.
What does it do? What does it do?
Yeah.
This is a 30-foot radius sphere that's 40 feet high, and it causes radiant damage to everybody in it when it first appears, and then also again if you end your turn within the sphere, within the cylinder. They get to make a Constitution saving throw,
Okay.
but they take half damage if they fail. So if they succeed, I mean.
So let's see here. That works. Cool. So 30 feet, you said. Where did you want it to go?
Woo!
30-foot radius.
30-foot radius. That's what I said. So let's see here. That's 45, so it's going to be a little smaller than that. As this light manifests, it does glow with power, but as it comes down out of the maelstrom roiling about in the sky above you, it seems to bring some of that maelstrom down with it. So as opposed to it just being a beam of light, it is actually a swirl of silent, chaotic energy that comes blasting down into the ground. And you want to get it right there to get all of them like that?
Isn't radius center to the edge?
Yes, it is. What? Oh, God.
So it's actually
it's
20 feet bigger than
humongous.
that.
Yeah, all right. So it literally
There was
is.
a way I could get,
Oh my
I could get all of the guys on that side.
So, like
Sun has
Like that?
I
descended.
don't want to.
Yeah, you don't
I
want to hit
wanna-
the
I
people.
Sun is
wanted to-
crossing.
I wanted to get the other guy, but if I do, I hit
you were quite
the
right. You hit the
innocents, and I
people.
don't want to hit the innocents. So
Very
yeah, I'm
good.
gonna land it
Now-
on all of those guys.
Now, in theory, 16 of those innocents are now gone. So,
Well, the ones that are about to ride have not ridden yet. In fact,
Oh,
none of
so-
them have actually moved yet. They go at the end of the round. So
oh, how dare they? All right, fine.
Okay, so they all get to make Constitution saving throws.
do they?
Oh, dude,
My DC is 18.
How polite.
how magnanimous of you. Yes.
Alrighty.
Beefy you
Con
are.
saves, you say.
And I rolled actually really good on my damage.
Do it.
So 8 is 16, 20, 27
So I have a
points of damage.
25 on the accursed guard. We'll say the furthest one away is the one who saved. The rest have failed. How much damage? was it?
27 points.
27 points. We'll round that down to 26. That becomes 13 for him.
Bad ass, Dawn.
And
Nice.
27 for the rest.
Look at my tiny moonbeam compared to her sun.
Look at my like super dinky whip that can hit one person at a time.
Okay, so
all
there
right.
is now a moon and a sun on the board.
Yeah.
Now the Legionnaires' con saves.
And I think they're proportional to each other, if I'm being honest. Like,
Yeah,
so
that's true.
only one has failed on these fellows. The other two succeeded. So we will say that the two that are furthest away to the north succeeded. So they will each take 13 points. And
Okay.
then the one that is closest to you will take the full 27. Dawn, you are concentrating on Dawn.
And I'm sure that didn't pull any attention to me whatsoever.
You are so wrong. That's going to be the end of Dawn's turn. Brings us to Nile.
Does this mean another D8?
Does indeed. Another D8 must be rolled.
I'll do this one.
You got it.
Okay.
come on, roll up.
Another one.
Are you kidding me? Well,
Hey,
you are all
ask
lucky
the-
people.
Ask the
No.
as the cursed guy to roll low. That's my
So,
job.
As the as more of the fight continues, there is definite blasts of eldritch energy shooting back and forth. You see the accursed guard fighting back. They seem to be very adept at warding off these eldritch blasts. They have shields. They're working in tandem. There is also one thing that I have to do here. At the end of that round, I needed to roll a d4. All right, so 3 accursed guard have been slain by the people they're fighting.
Oh,
Well, that's
I would
good.
say it's that one, and this would seem likely since there are a couple here that are doubled up. That there are those 3 that have been killed, and
Right?
4 legionnaires have been killed.
Oof.
Doing our jobs for us. Thank you.
Man, it's just rough all over, let me tell you.
The enemy of my enemy.
So, and there are some wounded members of the cowering innocents in the middle. Again, arrows, blasts of eldritch power, explosions. There's just no way to have them avoid being hurt completely. You see several drop. You don't know if they're unconscious or dead, but one actually pretty sure is dead, gets hit by one of these massive blasts of power that actually rips through an entire section of cowering individuals. One hit head on is vaporized. The others manage to dive to either side, but you see limbs being torn off by the sheer power of this blast as it rockets into one of the carts, one of the wagons, and makes a hole straight through it. Niall, we're glad that didn't hit you, but it is your turn, Niall.
Great. Well, I have no massive area effects spells, but there is one accursed guard that is dangerously close to the crowd, so I am going to try to draw his attention. I'm going to run just southwest of Jack, and as I pass that accursed guard to the west, I'm going to look at them and say, I've had bowel movements more attractive than you and better smelling. And I am going to cast mirror image on myself. My body begins to vibrate, and all of a sudden, my bow tie looks a little bit bigger, my arms look a little bit bulkier, and these multiple images start to cascade out of my own body and writhe around me, making it much more challenging for me to be hit. And once have I confirmed that he's looking at me after that insult?
It's hard to see which way he's looking in the heat of battle. I will allow you well, you've already used your action to cast your spells.
I have used my action.
What is your passive perception?
My passive perception is 18.
18? He might be looking at you.
Okay, all right. And once I believe he's looking at me, I'm going to hide. I'm going to use my stealth to hide in the rubble of this wagon.
Alrighty.
And that's a 23 on my stealth.
23, very good.
End of my turn.
To the Legionnaires. Legionnaire that is in the Moonbeam is going to try to make a Constitution saving throw. Rolls a 16. I do believe that fails win.
Yes.
Does it fail?
Yes.
What is the damage?
Apologies. And it's I roll again, right? For the damage.
No, actually, a 16 succeeds when you have a spell DC of 15. So.
Thank you. You're right. That's
Succeeded,
the first
so-
time I get Moonbeam here.
It's okay, no problem.
Fail gets an 8 damage.
A success gets an 8.
Sorry, yes, I failed.
Okay.
Is how
Yes.
I'm thinking of it.
Gotcha. As he takes this damage, he reaches onto his side, continuing to fight with the Legionnaire in front of him, pulls something off, throws it at the ground in front of him. As he does, there is an explosion, and as the dust and smoke clears, Moonbeam is gone, having been dispelled by an anti-magic grenade.
Son of a
That is
That's
his
cool.
action.
What the fuck?
I want one.
The Legionnaire here is going to step out of the.
Come on, just hang out in there.
No, let's see.
Hang out.
Yeah, why do you like this?
Step out.
Wait, don't move. I think your shoe's untied.
As he does. Actually, they
Hey, look, a penny.
they're going to take the dash
bronze
action
piece.
as they both run and make their way out of the effect of your dawn spell, making their way towards you, their swords brandished. And the other legionnaires, his enemy has been slain, as has that one. So the legionnaires that are in the area begin to charge forward, coming down from the top of this wagon circle, making their way through the crowd, shoving people aside, little regard for them. However, they are impeding their travel. So the one that is trying to dash you ends up in the middle as opposed to getting all the way to the group. I think that is all. They all take the dash action to move closer to the rest of the enemies, of which they seem to be including you as a group. Brings us to win.
Do I get the sense that that Legionnaire that is in the middle of the crowd now, you're like he's pushing people, no regard, but is he like hurting them?
I will need you to make a perception check.
Would that be my turn?
Yes. What is your passive perception?
Where do I find that, please? Oh, never mind. Passive perception 14.
14. There's so much chaos and crying and explosions happening around. You really are not able to tell. If you really want to know if he is a threat to them, you will have to take the time to observe.
All right. Well, she's not going to take the time to do that. She's just going to assume the worst, and so she's going to cast command on him.
Okay.
Let me just make sure. Yeah, 60. 45. Yep, again. So she's going to cast command and command grovel. So
Command grovel. So that's a wisdom save, correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So your voice rings out with authority. I have rolled a 5 as the Legionnaire stops in their tracks. On their next turn, they will be forced to grovel.
I'm going to use my movement, which is technically also Milady's movement, to get closer to this accursed guard a little bit north of me, and is my held action still count for this round for Milady?
So she was holding it. So your speed has now become her speed. So actually, if she moves, you move with her. She's on your turn. So I'm gonna move her back to where she was, if that's all right. Oh no, you went forward.
Yeah, I went forward. She just came with me. Yeah.
So she came with you. So yes. So no, her held action is no longer working.
Because it was a different. Well, anyway, she goes right after me, right?
Yes, she does.
Great. You know what? Actually, I'm going to use my action surge.
Oh, okay.
And I am going to attack this accursed guard here with my greatsword.
Alrighty.
Let's see. I hit for 18.
18 is the AC.
So are we meet to beat here?
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. So that hits, and I'm going to add a first level smite onto that. So 16 plus 1. So 17 damage. And he's still alive, yes?
So you did a first level smite?
Yes.
Has to be at least 2 because it's 2d8 for a smite.
Got it. Sorry. I thought that was for second level. So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 damage.
20 damage. Got it.
And he is still standing there alive, I assume?
He is still standing there alive, yes.
So I'm going to hit him again. 12 probably doesn't beat his
does not hit.
Number. So I missed that time, and Milady goes right after me, right?
All right, what does my lady do?
She bites him, and so she rolled a 6, so she missed.
Yes, she did. So once again, the 3 heads on either side, the half of a head on one side and the half of the head on the other side, and the skull in the middle are trying to each get a bite, and they get in each other's way.
It is, it's a learning curve for all 4 of us.
That's going to bring us to Jack.
Fantastic. Jack is going to go ahead and take his action to do synaptic static.
Okay.
And it's going to be centered right, like just south of this caravan here, as I'm pinging, and so that's a 20-foot radius on that. So, if I'm not mistaken, Sean, that should get all of the Legion. Yeah. Yeah, right. So that I should be able to get everybody.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
In the interior of the wagons, there are there's the group that you see there. However, they're moving around, and it's So I would, you're risking hitting some innocents by including the one in the middle.
I see. Well, then I certainly
There's a little too close to the innocence.
Yeah, that's so I would not do that. I would I was kind of basing it on where the where the humans weren't. So and so then as you see this, he Yak again starts to draw up again. His hands morph into these owl-like talons as he pulls apart the sky a little bit. This purple electricity courses from his fingertips, and he's like, "Father Night, no longer on your side, a waning shield, no longer kind." And he slams them together, and as he slams them together, this like shockwave goes through this crowd. They have to make an intelligence save of 17.
Oh dear. Let's see here. So, the accursed guard to the northernmost part of this effect has failed with an 11. The one to the southernmost part of this spell effect has succeeded with a 21. The two legionnaires that are charging towards Dawn, I have a 10 and a 14. Both failed.
All right, so that'll be so anyone who failed takes 34 damage.
That damage is wild. Wow.
34. Yeah. 34 psychic. 34 psychic damage. Half of that, so that would be
17.
17. Thank you. God bless.
I'm gonna count.
Blessed be the sun. Praise the sun.
What was the total damage again, Jack?
34 psychic damage to anyone who failed, 17 to those who passed. And then anyone who failed that save has muddled thoughts for a minute. So anytime during that
saves at the end of each of their turns.
Yeah. So, and then during that time, they roll the d6 and then subtract that number rolled from all of its attack rolls and ability checks, as well as its Constitution saving throws. Yes. So, and it's just a little dumb, just a little more dumb. Yeah. So as he slams that together, that sparks, and then he looks over his shoulder, sees Dusk behind him as he looks down off of the caravan, and he's like, "Dusk, bring the pain!" And he sends a little bardic inspiration to her. Friendly reminder to my fellow party members, you can use my bardic inspirations as magical inspirations. So anytime you cast a spell that does damage or heals, you can roll my bardic inspiration to add to your damage or to your heals.
Nice.
Awesome.
Very cool.
D8 or a D10?
Jack,
A D10.
Nice.
I suspect it's the end of your turn.
And that is the end of my turn.
Well done.
With a bow.
Well done, my good man. Very good. Take a bow. Great turn. So the accursed guard goes. So 2 of these accursed guard are going to also move out of the sunbeam. What comes around is going to continue to fight legionnaires. However, the one that is
we've been hit by a sunbeam and now we're dumber. Can we go home?
that is able to get past the legionnaires and make his way towards you, Dawn, comes to there. As he does, he begins to power up the massive greater eldritch blast, getting ready to fire it at Dawn. It begins to suck in the energy around it and creates a little pit of utter blackness that is tinged with a green event horizon, and with a surge of strength fires it towards Dawn. Doesn't appear that Dawn's going to get a counterspell.
No, but you do have to roll a d6 and subtract it from that attack.
Indeed I do. We'll see how that goes.
Ooh.
So my 23 becomes an 18.
My AC is 17.
I look at that man and I say, "Sneeze." And I cast Silvery Barbs, and there is an itch inside of his nose which affects his aim.
You give advantage to somebody as well.
I'm giving advantage to myself.
I will roll again as he goes.
God, that's so real. That's so real.
This time he rolls a 13 as this blast of power
I got you, girl.
up into the air and does not hit
Heart.
Dawn. However, there is one that is to the northwest of Nile. He reaches out with his hand and is going to cast Hex upon you.
I am
Who is
hidden.
this?
Oh,
Can he see me?
You are not hidden after you cast
Which one is
Silver
this?
Barbs, my friend.
Is it this one?
Oh wait, does that? Oh, that will break my.
That breaks your stealth.
No, the accursed guard just below to
Thank
the
you.
a little further.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Is going to hex you. Hex will affect you regardless of your mirror image, as he does not actually have to roll an attack roll to hex you. So once again, brings his sword forward, and there's a sound like a door closing on fate as he hexes you.
Fair enough.
And is going to fire 3 Eldritch Blasts at you.
Blast.
Blast.
Blasted.
Blast! Attack number 1. I'm going to roll these with dice because they didn't work the last time.
No. Do it the way you did last time.
No, I cannot. I'm afraid the last time was not accurate. Did not reflect his spell attack. Well, that's going to miss. Ooh, that could hit. Let's see.
My AC
Spell
is
attack-
17.
Spell attack is that. So that is going to be a hit with a dirty 20.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and did you roll the negate the d6 from that?
The one that is attacking was not in
Yeah,
your
it wasn't in.
synaptic static.
Because he was too close.
Wait,
to the
which
keyboard.
one? That one.
Yes.
Oh, very well then. I will cutting words him then.
Cutting words, him, eh?
So
His words.
What do you say?
I'll go ahead. I'll roll my d10, and you can subtract 8 from that roll.
All right, so that will then miss. The dirty 20 becomes a 12.
Nice.
And then so he goes ahead and tries to do that shot. I go, "You're a bitch," and he just
The final attack will also hit with a 23.
Okay.
damn.
So, yes.
Wait, oh no, go ahead.
All right,
Do your thing.
that's going to be a total of 8 points of force damage, and then the hex on top of it will be 3, so total of 11 points of force damage.
Now, does he hit me or does he hit one
good
of my
point.
images?
Roll a d20.
All right.
There it is.
An 11.
He hits one of your mirrored images.
All right.
Now-
And that disappears.
2 of your mirrored images.
With 2?
Yeah, you had 3. Now you have 2.
Oh, now I have 2. I see. I thought you said he hit 2.
No,
and
no,
I was
no,
like,
no.
how dare you? Okay.
All right.
How
Another accursed
very
guard.
dare you?
Accursed Guard Green, I believe, is going to take some more acid damage on his
Yes,
turn.
he's gonna take 5.
Alrighty.
Ooh.
Now you can unmark him.
Thank you. He is going to take aim at Win and is going to do 3 Eldritch Blasts on her.
Bring
She is
it.
already hexed.
Damn it.
I'm hexed.
Yep.
I'm hexed.
I thought it was
That will
counter
miss.
spell.
That will miss.
No, the big blast of
blast,
death was
yes.
The
counterspelled.
final one will hit. That will be a total of. Let's see here. 8 points of force damage. Hex goes in for 2, so a total of 10 points of force damage.
All right. Fine.
You're welcome. And then the last one is going to Misty Step away
5 feet.
Yeah.
30 feet to there. And
Into the sunbeam.
as he lands, he is going to cast upon this entire area a fireball.
Wait,
The
hold on,
fireball is going to encompass Win, Milady, one of the Legionnaires, 5, 10, both of the Legionnaires, and Dusk. So I need dexterity saves from Win and Dusk and from Milady.
All right, Win.
Oh no. Oh no.
Win got.
Dusk, you're also resistant to fire.
Remember,
that's
Dusk, you
nice.
have an inspiration.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I don't think the inspiration is gonna do much considering I rolled a 6. And it's a -1, so it's a 5.
Okay,
I got.
that's probably going to fail.
18. I was sorry. Milady got 19, and I got 18.
Both of those succeed. Legionnaires
What's your radius for your aura, Win?
15
Oh
feet.
yeah,
Yeah, Jessica's within the aura. That reduces all the damage of magic, doesn't it?
Good call. It does.
and also gives you a bonus to your saves.
So, what did you roll on your save, Dusk?
5.
5.
5.
So my
plus Win's aura.
Four, I
brings
believe.
to 8.
Yeah.
Do you want to use,
3.
if you roll
Sure,
a
let's-
10 on
yeah.
your,
Yeah, that's likely. Okay, let's try it.
Come on, do it.
Wait, which this? Oh, this is 10. Yes, it is.
D10,
Oh, 8.
which
so
is a
it's
16.
16 just barely fails, I'm afraid.
Oh.
As the
Nice
fire
try.
shoots out, a little mote of orange light lands right on Milady's hindquarters and explodes in conflagration of flame that burns with intense heat for just a moment, but it is enough to burn you all. Your hair, your eyebrows, your clothes. Milady yelps in pain as everyone who failed takes 32 points of fire damage, a rather tasty fireball. So if you succeeded,
And I
that will be
take
halved
16.
to 16. That will be halved to 16.
And I take.
Dust,
and I
you
take
take
16
16
'cause I'm
because
a
you're
druid.
resistant to fire, indeed. Win, your aura protects Milady, so she takes how much less magic? How much damage? Less damage?
It halves
halves
it.
it.
It makes you resistant.
So she not only succeeded, but she has, so that 16 becomes an 8.
8.
So 8 points of damage to Milady.
Wait, does the aura reach me?
She's still up.
It does not. It's 10 feet.
Yes. And that is the Accursed Guard's turn. That will bring us now to Dusk.
Dusk is upsetty.
Upsetty spaghetti.
Upsetty spaghetti.
Spaghetti.
You haven't even blown through your temporary hit points I gave you yet.
I know. I am
Don't
going
say that in front
to
of Sean.
Wait,
I
people
am
got
going
three
to-
hit points?
cast Spark of Godhood,
Ooh.
Oh.
and
What does that look like?
Sounds badass.
you first hear the reverse of glass or crystal cracking. So it almost sounds like a crystal or glass is coming into being, and from me and from where my heart is, a light of just pure gold comes out, and I lift a little bit from the ground, and as I do, there is almost like this coalescence of the acid that she's currently using, and it's surrounding her and dripping, but this time when it hits the ground, actually does sizzle.
Okay.
And from me, you hear my voice booming, saying, "I will decide your fate."
Indeed, it booms with a incredible intensity. Jack, you pride yourself in being able to project, but this voice, as it washes over the battlefield, you actually feel and see the wagons lean away from the force of what Dusk says as she taps into this small piece of divinity that she keeps within herself.
She's using both her diaphragm and the resonators, kids. So
I got a subwoofer in my pocket.
All right, this blast of divine power shoots out from you, and which of these
that
targets?
is just that is I can't do that until my next turn. So the action
Gotcha.
was to nurture the spark of godhood,
Okay.
and then
Charge the
things are coming.
So
Charge up!
we'll give you a cool little aura going on for this, but now since
yeah.
it's acid, I guess it should be green. Unless you want another color.
Ooh, make it gold.
Gold. Okay. Would yellow do?
I'll get my imagination's creative.
Thank you. I appreciate this. Indeed. So I appreciate that. We all appreciate the extra imagination required to turn the yellow into a golden aura.
We're just that good.
Aren't you know?
Skill.
That's Dusk's turn. Brings us to Dawn.
Profesh.
Dawn is going to do something, or I'm going to do something incredibly smart, and I'm going to run towards the people who want to hurt me.
Okay.
And I'm going to run and end up here.
I can't be smarter.
You two words and the thing that made you dumber. What are you doing?
Wait, a brilliant idea.
No, bad plan. Yeah, like.
And I'm going to start by conjuring my spiritual weapon.
Okay.
Up
Better.
near, actually right beside, on the other side of this guy who's right in front of me. I'm going to cast it at 4th level, because I'm not a 2nd level spell.
What is your
so that I get
spiritual
to
weapon? What delineates its form and its size and its shape, depending on whether it's 2nd or 3rd or 4th level and all that?
So normally it's a mace covered in purple hyacinths, and we've already seen that the hyacinths have kind of rotted away here on this. But now, instead of like a regular mace, you know the Witch King's helmet in Lord of the Rings? The mace head looks like that. It's like super intense, and that's kind of what it looks like. So it does an extra d8 damage. I'm going to take a swing at this guy.
Which guy?
The guy right in front of me. That's
You got it. That you've run right up to, and then you are flanking. Well, you're not actually flanking, but you have on the other side of your spiritual weapon.
26.
26 is a hit. Good lord, you guys.
And I rolled 18 plus 4, so 22 points of damage.
Goodness. Okay.
And then I am going to use my action to. I'm taking inspiration from this earwig song we keep hearing, and I'm just going to start whispering under my breath. You'll fail. You can't do anything right. Nobody likes you. Just all these things. And as I say that,
The last one hurts.
just the nobody likes you is needed. And as I say that, a wave of sound is going to move out from around me in a 30-foot radius. And all of these guys around me have to make a charisma saving throw.
So
of 18.
is this specifically this?
This is my channel divinity wave of regret.
Does it-
As they all start hearing this,
Does the wave of regret specify creatures that you choose?
enemies.
Enemies.
Specifies people I see as enemies.
Okay, gotcha. So,
You mean?
again, this ability will encroach into the middle of the wagon area. You might affect some of the people here.
No, I'm only the people I deem as enemies.
course.
I see
Yes,
it.
sorry.
It specifies so just the Legionnaires and a cursed guard.
Right, and I'm rolling wisdom save.
Charisma.
Charisma saves. That's terrible. Actually, no, it's not.
18.
It's actually pretty good.
What?
I have rolled an 18 from one, 18 from another,
Oh, boo.
and now the Legionnaires, not quite as charismatic as the Warlock Knights. 16 and a 14. So both the Legionnaires fail, but the Accursed Guard succeed. But
I
wait a
rolled-
minute. Thanks to Synaptic Static, does that affect saving throws as well?
I believe it does, because I want it to be a pain in your butt. But let me double check.
That's what I wanted
it says,
to.
Because that's
Yes.
what they want.
oh, it says rolls and ability checks.
Thank you.
And then Constitution saving throws to maintain concentration.
Gotcha.
But-
So the 18s do stand. So Dawn, what is the effect on the Legionnaires who failed?
They take 2d10, which I rolled 16, plus 11 points of psychic damage as they feel these deep regrets from these whispers that they're hearing coming
roll that
from me. So they
damage.
take 27 points is what I rolled.
You hear wails of deep sadness and shame and regret.
Your patron regrets picking you as a warlock. All of them regret it.
That's actually really dark for the Legionnaires, who do not appear to be warlocks, by the way. All right, so
I'll rub
we
it
are
off
coming
on
to
you.
the end of our session today, but I don't want to end before determining a couple of things. First of all, 3 Accursed Guards die in their combat with the Legionnaires.
Right?
And we'll leave them there. So, and then 3 Legionnaires die. They're keeping it. So the one that you commanded win dies.
I command you to die.
Good command.
Seems to have affected the Legionnaire that one of the Legionnaires that you just caused to feel this horrible regret actually falls to the ground, crying. As he does, an arrow comes shooting out of the sky and it's right at his back and is killed.
It's for the best.
You see
Now he's not
He wouldn't be
sad.
able to live with that.
the people in the middle of the
No one's gonna miss him.
the people in the middle of the wagons. You see people riding away, people escaping into Niall's dimensional area here, but they are still obviously taking damage. One of the wagons bursts into fire, and several of the people in the middle begin to try to put it out using whatever they can, blankets and their bare hands in some cases. I would like somebody to roll a d8 for me.
I'll do it.
I'll
So
do
far
it.
Oh no, you do it. Beth.
Win got it.
No, you go. You go.
No.
Okay.
Wait.
Okay.
Yeah, no. That's it. Dusk rolls low. Go ahead, Dusk.
Yes, I do.
We all roll low.
2.
A 2.
Okay.
You look at your tokens. One of you will have a 2 upon them.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's me.
I have a
It's you,
Is it
Niall.
Niall?
Niall, as you are watching this fight, there is a sudden explosion of electrical power as an errant spell strikes you and is also going to strike Jack. I need the both of you to make dexterity saving throws, please.
I can do that.
Alrighty.
27.
Well, that's pretty darn evasive, and I do believe you do have evasion, which allows
do,
you to
yes.
take no damage at all from this explosion of power. Jack, what did you roll?
I rolled a. Let's see. It's a dexterity saving throw.
Indeed.
That is a 9 plus 7 is a 16. I am.
Should have gave you the temporary hit points.
I'm gonna go ahead and burn a luck die. And do it again.
All right. As
So the 16 stands. Yeah.
So you take 25 points of electrical damage as this explosion of power. Somehow you look and see Niall escaped it completely. Perhaps he even reached up and grabbed you and hid behind you.
I wouldn't do that.
I've always tried to imagine how rogues are able to do this, or anybody has evasion when one of these things happen and hits everybody else, and the rogue is miraculously unhurt. So diving behind somebody or
I'll tell you exactly what happened. He went ahead and cracked his whip up and managed to catch the top of the wagon and whips himself skyward up into the air. As I'm standing there going why are you? And he's just up in the air for a second I'd say sorry, but we both know I wouldn't mean it. And then
Very nice. Roll a Constitution saving throw, please, Jack.
I was like,
You're trying to beat 12.
Okay, great. That is a 16 on the die.
Nice.
So
Hold
with
on to summon animals. And
the horses continue to ride.
at this point, the fight will continue another round. However, it will be the beginning of our next session as opposed to the end of this one. Really fantastic job again, everybody. I enjoy playing with you so much. And for those of you watching, we enjoy playing for you. I hope you've enjoyed our little adventure here. We are playing, of course, The Black Ballad, brought to you by Storytellers Forge, amazing group of fantastic writers. They are also sponsoring this stream. Also like to thank Diamorte for their incredible music, which you are listening to now. A fantastic addition to our endeavors here. If you like the character art, you should check out Kai. She did amazing work and is continuing to do amazing work. Hopefully in a couple of episodes here, we'll be able to show you some more full body artwork that she has done for our characters. if you enjoy this particular module, you should definitely look out for more things coming from Storytellers Forge. A work they're working on right now is something called the Festival of the Forgotten, Revelations of the Dark Carnival. Looking forward to checking that one out myself. If you enjoy listening to actual plays, you should check out Echoes of Kryn, which is a podcast that is run by myself and has Samus in it as well. It takes place in the world of Dragonlance. I think you will like that. If you are looking for a DM to run games for you, I am a DM for hire. You should check me out. Information for all this, of course, is in the chat. And last but not least, you should definitely keep tuning in, because in a couple of episodes here, we're going to begin opening up the raffle, the competition, the giveaway for some amazing dice that have been generously donated to us by the fantastic Umbral Oculus dice making company, and I think you'll like them. As you can see, we all have our own.
They're the best dice I've ever had.
They're so pretty.
Yeah. I
Good
actually
job.
hit something
Right.
thanks to them.
I've got severed
So
threads.
did
in them,
I,
friend.
frankly.
How dare you? How dare you?
And my friends, that will be it for us. Thank you once again, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Did you really think I would notice the blatant hubris of the Council of Coastal Wizards? Perhaps they believed altering the fabric of the cosmos would keep me, from my fledgling warlocks, forcing my hand-selected tools to claw and crawl for experience they deem fit to forge a pact with me. Ridiculous. But the slamming of the celestial door made me realize I've committed a sin. I've forgotten about your world. Probably from the monotony of the same story over and over again. Slay the dragon, stop the evil cult, thirst over the vampire. Well, let's change that. Let's make it fun again, shall we? My carnival is coming to your world for a little housekeeping. All those messy rules those wizards put into place will leave a lot of things forgotten after all. I'm sure you won't miss them. But only if you accept my invite to the greatest story I've yet to weave, just for your insignificant ball of rock. All are welcome, from the most accursed king down to the misplaced orphan. I promise that everyone will leave with their souls intact. Seriously, I don't deal in souls. That's so... last millennia.